If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you. They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You never know what is a star like another city, the driver's side floor. Just to get large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube and view it for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. We are live from Las Vegas for Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. Appreciate Premier Boxing Champions flying us out here, putting us up at New York, as we have ourselves weigh-in day, Leroy, here in Las Vegas. That's going to get going 3 o'clock Miami time, 12 o'clock local time, right outside the T-Mobile Arena. I think they had to switch it up because the Golden Knights are playing there today, so I don't think they could do it inside. It was supposed to be later. But unfortunately, there is playoff hockey, so they had to adjust.
So they're doing it here. They were going to do it over there.
They're doing it on the pavilion, right outside the T-Mobile Arena.
Okay.
So it should be cool. It's a nice day.
They probably already had a backup plan in case, you know what I mean, it didn't work.
Yeah, for sure. But it should be a fun day. We'll see what the intensity of the stare down is, but this is about the time where the words end, Leroy, and so I don't think anybody else.
No, they don't.
Well, they're not gonna.
No, then they act like they're gonna punch each other.
I don't know. Seems like a lot of mutual respect between these two.
But it's not even. Canelo doesn't have a beef with the guy. Listen. Canelo might be thinking, I'm gonna beat the hell out of this guy just because he's dealing with Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Right.
Who, by the way, has sent a cease and desist to Canelo. Defamatory claims, he says.
Really? Really? Really?
What? That's what he did.
So now do you know how many defamatory claims would be out in the ether?
I feel like
people could, right?
I feel like he's had a lot of defamatory claims.
Right.
A lot of them.
Right.
Well. Oh, well.
You want to tell the people what happened to us in the...
Sure. Let's get to our headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Hey, the Marlins got the sweep, by the way.
Whoa.
Dan Day was there. What's up, Dan Day?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I was at the game.
Wow.
I was in recess, all of 1,000 people. I was in recess when Jesus Sanchez got the walk-off.
Did you and Vlad start individually counting how many people are actually there?
No. Dude, outside, it seems like it's a regular sporting event. There's people everywhere in Marlins gear, and then you get inside, and it's like you're in an air-conditioned warehouse by yourself.
It is. It's funny how many,
a lot of sporting events are like that,
but
right?
100 people on the line can look really, but when you put them in an empty-ass building, it's like,
right.
Oh, my God, this is...
Because how many times have you gone to, especially a Marlins game, you've gone to a Marlins game, you pulled up to the stadium, you tried to get parking and what have you. You see the people walk into the stadium, you go, oh, man, we got a nice little crowd today.
Nope.
Right? Just based on the ease in which it takes you to get into the stadium.
Well, ease sometimes.
Isn't baseball one of the few sports that they show up early?
Sometimes for batting practice.
No, but I'm saying even for first pitch.
Yeah. I mean, but it's also you mean as opposed to getting into a Heat game?
Yeah.
No, Heat game.
I don't know, man. It's hard to judge. I don't think it's the same thing.
It's the only game I've ever been to where you see an open seat, and it's the middle of the third quarter. you have to worry about that person showing up. Like usually after halftime, the seat's pretty open. Nope, you go sit down with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Excuse me, you're in my seats. It's like, they're not your seats anymore. The game's almost over.
You think you have squatting rights?
Yeah, squatting rights. Sorry, excuse
Listen,
me.
If you weren't here for tip-off, you weren't here for halftime. These are my seats now. I don't care what
if you're not there for halftime, come on now. And Leroy, you lived in New Orleans. People get there, an hour before the game.
Yeah.
Here, an hour after the game.
It's
if you're
weird.
lucky.
It's hard for me to understand living in Miami now because I grew up with a team that never won, but still seeing the environment of sports fandom as a kid, it didn't matter. And so now, as I've gotten older, I realize that there's certain fan bases that show up if your team's winning. And that's a hard thing. It took me a while to get used to that because you'll say, now I've met, probably 7 million people that say they remember the 72 Dolphins, right? But then you would go to a game sometimes in the last few years, not recently, and it'll only be 45,000.
No, I'll tell you, you live in Southern California, like when Leroy, that Vikings team you were on that year, guarantee half of Southern California had Vikings gear on. Like they are the most. If anybody that's good, that's their team. That
still happens. That still happens at the Chargers, especially.
Yeah, everybody, you know what it is, right? So it happens a lot in Miami. That all fan bases, all these teams organize a trip, and it's usually to the warm weather places. So a lot of Miami, they did it to Vegas, right? Where they do a special for their fans and they kind of do an away trip for fans, right? Yeah. Where you can buy a package and whatever. They usually always do it to warm weather places. That's why it happens a lot in San Diego.
Yeah, you don't get Oklahoma. You don't get Oklahoma
right.
City. You don't get Kansas City.
You don't get Minnesota. Nobody plans.
Nobody wants to go to
Nobody plans it to Chicago.
No, I mean Chicago's actually cool, but
they might do it to New York.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
It's got to be It's got to be a fun, cool place,
right?
No one wants to go to some boring ass San Antonio.
But three of Miami's home games, the visiting team might have planned their trip. That's why it happens that way down here. Same thing with San Diego. Like you go out to LA, there might be 3 or 4 East Coast teams that plan that trip out to LA.
So later on today,
catch yourself. Catch yourself.
Blocks. That's like you in the car last night.
Come on. So Dan, we're in the car, right? And
we're in an Uber.
We're in an Uber. And the guy is speaking English, so his only communication with us
in Vegas
was through the phone.
Was he speaking Portuguese?
No.
Nothing. He didn't say anything. He just used his Google Translate. Says, "Please buckle your seatbelts."
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
But it gave an explanation as the safety of our drivers is most important. Please.
Of course, okay. AKA you don't know the language. Go ahead.
So I grab the seatbelt and I pull it, and I get to about this far from the thing, and it won't go anymore. So I'm trying to pull it, and I'm like, Tobin goes, "Hey man, you got to let it all the way back in." I'm like, "No, you don't." And I'm pulling on it. So he just sitting there laughing at me. So
we're like in driving, and so like we're like continuing to glide along. I'm buckled in. Leroy's just sitting there, and he keeps like when you get the
you can't pull it too fast because it locks.
You got to put it all the way back. You got to put it back in the holster.
You got to reset. You got to
bring it back.
Yeah.
But this guy's sitting there, and he's like, "Listen, what'd you have? You only had like one Manhattan. You didn't.
I had nothing.
Yeah,
it was on the way there.
You were like, no, it wasn't. It was on the way back. It was. It's like he keeps like gradually going.
Yeah, you can hear it click, click, click,
and like he's still trying to like go. I'm like, hey, there's only one way to do this. It's like false start. You need to restart the play.
It's a restart, yeah.
And you kept thinking that like it was gonna.
I almost snatched the door off the hinges.
I can believe that, yeah.
And he's like just sitting there laughing at me.
He's just like a child.
I'm like, I don't know when. Okay, I drive a car every day. I put my seatbelt on. Never crossed this. Never had this.
And you've never had to deal with
no.
You never gotten a locked up seatbelt, Leroy?
No.
Really?
No.
That's never happened to you.
No.
Interesting.
I didn't know you had to go all the way back to the beginning.
Really?
Like, no.
I learned that when I was like 10.
So, no, wait here. Let me explain. So when my daughter was born, me and my son, we had the nice little car seat or whatever to put her in. We had to hook it up. And so I hooked it up and I made Fonz, test drive it. He's a little big, but I'm like, sit in it. And I just took a hard turn, at a corner or something. He fell over. So we didn't do it. So we reset. Put the car seat on.
You proudly made your son a
like
crash
8 or
test
9 or
dummy. That's
something.
a
He
good
goes,
job by
hey,
you.
man.
Good job by you.
They do it for free at the police station. So that's where, yeah.
Yeah, but then also, like, he was having such trouble day.
No, he didn't. Instead of helping his friend.
I did help you.
No, you didn't. You laughed at me. You mocked me for the whole ride.
No, dude. You were sitting there because you were struggling like a 3-year-old for the first time on its booster seat. I took his little buckle. I said, here, let me guide this in for you.
No, he put his hand over the thing. Now I can't see the landing point. I can't see the landing point. You're not helping. I know you just laughing.
Landing point?
You're just mocking and laughing.
You deserve mocking.
No, really.
Losing a fight.
Dan Day, when was the last time you rode in the back seat of a car?
Whew, that's a good question.
That wasn't a police car.
No, well, yeah. I remember that for sure. Oh goodness. It's been a while since I've been in the back. Well, no, I've Ubered a couple times to AKA stay out of a police car.
Yeah, you don't front seat an Uber. That's weird.
No, it's weird.
Right.
I thought it was weird the other
probably
day when
been
I
like
was in
2
front
months.
of a taxi.
We didn't have no room.
I know. It's weird though.
It's been like 2 months.
Right. That guy, I asked the taxi guy, right? I said, hey, let's stop in an In-N-Out Burger. It's right across the street.
Oh goodness, y'all went to
Right?
In-N-Out. I am done.
You know what he does? He says, no, flat rate.
I respect that. They don't go to In-N-Out. That's garbage.
You're saying it's garbage just as a product, or you just don't want them to stop?
No, it's as a product. In-N-Out is the biggest tourist attraction in California. And people get mad at me when I tell them, like, oh, you're going to In-N-Out, the biggest tourist attraction in California. And they're like, why would you say that? Oh, no. I was like, that's the one thing you want to do, right? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, the food is garbage. If I didn't put it in In-N-Out
Garbage
wrapping.
is strong. Garbage is strong. I would say, I mean, like,
average.
It's not on the top of the burger chain, but
It's
here's what
average.
makes it for me. Here's what makes it for me.
Because you can't
right?
get it in the West Coast, but now
No,
you can
no,
get it in
no.
Austin,
No, no,
Texas.
no.
You can get it in Las
No, no,
Vegas.
no.
You can get it here,
No,
here,
no,
here,
no.
here. It's great.
Here's the
It's
deal.
awesome. Great.
Dan, here's the deal, right? I appreciate the fact that you can get a decent burger, right? And they haven't jacked up their prices so much because of their notoriety, right? So I'm in and out of there, drink, double burger, and fries, however I want it, and I don't even spend $10. That's the part that gets me.
So
And
it's the price.
not worth, huh?
It's the
But
price.
it's worth the money, right?
I've only done it once.
I
I
just
can't
went-
really
oh,
recall.
I
I thought it was decent because you know what? I was in Dallas for Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, and Hockman made me go to Whataburger, and I was like, eh. Then I went to In-N-Out. I was like,
Well,
better
you're
than
comparing it to
Whataburger.
Whataburger. That's why.
Yeah.
So when I
Well,
get a $1 cheesy bean and rice burrito at Taco Bell, that's worth the price. It's great. That's good Mexican food, right,
So-
Leroy? That's what
No.
you're saying. That's what you're
So
arguing.
here's the deal.
I'm
I'll
going
give
to
you
Taco
a
Bell.
perfect example. So yesterday on the way back, I went and I relaxed for a minute. And I was hungry, but I didn't know. Like I knew we were gonna eat up some stuff, right?
You're in the land of buffets, man. You should be tearing up some breakfast
No.
buffets.
I didn't want a buffet. I didn't want a buffet. We were getting ready to go eat food at a restaurant. So it was like 3:00. We had like 4 hours. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna just grab a Mighty Bite or something. So they have this New York pretzel, right? They got all the different flavor little pretzel dogs. I'm in. I'm a fan of that. I'm getting ready to order. Some random lady walks by and goes, "Don't do it. Bad choice." So she guilted me and I guess she got the bubble guts or something.
Yeah.
So she guilted me into not getting it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go over here and get a chicken sandwich, right? So I see the wings place. Let me get a chicken sandwich, right? It costs $20 for a chicken sandwich without fries. They put it in a little thing like this. give it to you. I took a bite. There was no chicken. So then I went, and for one pretzel dog, right, $15.
No.
So for me to just get a little snack to hold me over for 4 hours, it cost me $40. And that's why I like In-N-Out Burger.
Now you're making more of a case now. I
Right.
do. Goodness gracious.
Right. Come on.
A big
All
guy
right,
like
well,
you too. It's got to cost a lot of money, man. Like I eat once a day.
Like I ain't know. If I'm spending $20 for a cheeseburger, it better be one of the best damn cheeseburgers I ever ate.
We'll take a quick break here. We are in Las Vegas here for Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. Thank you to Premier Box Champions for having us out here, flying us out here, putting us up at New York Hotel and Casino, hosting us for the week.
And now I'm going to go get a $20 coffee.
We'll take a quick break. Back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We're live from Radio Row in Las Vegas. Day 2 here as Canelo Alvarez is going to be squaring off with Jaime Munguia for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Canelo, pretty sizable favorite going into this one as he looks to continue his reign. This is his weight class. This is his sweet spot. And Jaime Munguia, very, very talented, very, very dangerous, but this is definitely a big step up in, competition, the bright lights, all that stuff. They, have a recent common opponent, John Ryder. Jaime Munguia finished him where Canelo, went the distance with him. So there's a little boxing math you could go there if you want to feel a little bit frisky. But, man, I will say one of the things that doesn't probably get enough credit for Canelo is that dude can take a shot. Never really been hurt in his career, to be honest with you. Good God, this is a large call. Thank you. Thank you, Leroy. I think I could swim in this thing. This is gigantic.
I was first in line.
I appreciate that. That'll get you like 2. This must have cost you like, 3 pretzel dogs.
Well, guess what I did, though? Left my wallet.
Huh?
Yeah, I had some pickup cash in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't counting on that.
There you go. So yeah, this is gonna be. I think stylistically, this is gonna be a really fun fight because both these guys,
the boxer versus the attack artist.
They're not. I think they're both pretty aggressive fighters, both pretty aggressive guys. It should make for some action. It's just a question of, Jaime Munguia on a big stage. Can he keep up a pace like that? Can he give something for Canelo to really think about and be dangerous about? Because man, some guys get in there with him, they get a little gun shy,
right?
And he, he'll hit your arms, he'll hit your head, he'll hit a lot of things to make you a little wary of throwing stuff back at him.
Usually the pro, the veteran, right, who's been doing this, has little tricks where he can just frustrate up and comer.
Yeah.
Right. And it's all about, keeping your poise and sticking to your plan or whatever. And that's usually what ends up happening is they get frustrated, they make a couple of bad moves, and then bap, night.
Man. So the Heat get into a little bit of Heat. They had their exit interviews today, voluntary. I wouldn't expect to hear from Jimmy Butler. I don't think, unless Jimmy Butler. See, here's the thing: if you really want to know Jimmy Butler is going to make any kind of a statement on this whole extension thing, he'd actually show for voluntary media day. But he'd
do something out of his.
He'd do something. If Jimmy Butler speaks to the media today, then something's.
Well, because here's why he would show up, because he knows he's going to get asked about it.
Of course.
And so he wants it on record.
He wants to
know his feelings on the whole situation.
My guess, though, he's like in Tahiti or something like that.
I mean, not yet. Not yet.
You don't think? Oh, like he's hurt?
Yeah.
Can't fly?
Well, no, it's not that.
What?
It's you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can before you start taking vacations. So, for example, if there's a certain level he needs to be at where he can be all clear to do that, you don't want to be caught off where you're traveling and not doing the necessary work to.
Yeah, but he's got like his own team. Does he, like, if he has his own like rehab and physical
it depends on where he is with it, right? Like, again, some of these injuries, they say we're going to check in a couple of weeks. If the season ends in a couple of weeks and you take off, they still haven't really established a plan, a rehab plan. So then if you go and do it on your own without consulting the team, that's a problem. So I'm more than sure that before he leaves or goes anywhere, there's certain things he has to like follow up with as far as his injury, with the medical staff. He can do his rehab with his team, okay? But unless he's using a different doctor, then he's got to, clarify some things as far as where his injury is or not.
All right. Well, either way, if he showed up today to speak, I think they're starting to talk at like 12 Eastern. Is when that starts up. And
so the only guys that really talk. So Bam will do it.
He might. He might. Tyler's done it and not done it. And then usually Duncan does it every year. I don't know what? I don't think Duncan did it last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the times it's the young guys.
Right.
Mostly. Like Gabe Vincent did it last year because he was going into free agency. Strus did it last year.
Right.
Most of the guys on the team will talk to the media whenever. The only guy who really, it's touch and go is Jimmy.
Okay.
But that's, So I would be, if he does talk, I'd be like, oh, something's like.
No, I just think, I literally think that if he does talk, he knows he's going to get asked that question, and he either has an answer ready for it, or he wants to put the ball in the Heat's court.
Right.
And kind of put it on them. And then when Pat has his exit interview or he has his end of the season, then that's the first question that, that is asked. What are we going to do with Jimmy?
Schmied and Schmolnick says, and this is fair, he says 30 minutes in and Tobin hasn't laughed at Philly fans yet. He's lost his fastball.
Hey. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing that's annoying about a petty series sometimes, Schmieden, is you also have to deal with the fact that the Knicks advanced, and I had to deal with that on ESPN today. But then here's the thing that's really annoying about it is like they didn't even care that Philly got it bounced, and then I got this wind horse going on, and he's like, by the way, might want to monitor Jimmy Butler to leaving Miami for Philadelphia if things go awry. I'm like, are you kidding me?
This
is how I got to start my morning.
I don't want to sound ridiculous. And I don't want to sound like a hater. Okay? But based on what you've seen this year with Jimmy, right? If that did happen, what did you lose? And I'm not saying that from the level of player that Jimmy is. I'm not saying that for what he brings to the table. But I'm saying it from a Heat perspective. If they're looking, okay, we can add this guy and we let Jimmy go wherever he wants, what did you lose versus what you gained? Because
that's the thing is, what do you gain? Like in a trade like that?
Say
Philly doesn't have anybody to trade.
No, you know how they do the 17-team trade and whatever.
So you want to do like a 3-team deal?
Well, whatever.
So
what if you go and you end up with Spider, but you got to give up, and then Jimmy ends up there, and then the first round picks, and
so like you reroute the picks for Spider,
right? You see what I'm saying? But because here's the thing, we love his tenacity.
Yeah.
We love what he brings to the table. But if you're watching the playoffs right now, right, the one thing that the Heat lack that we tried to put this tag on a bunch of players is that bona fide score, right? That guy, that Jimmy can do it, okay, but can he do it like all the other guys that we've seen do?
I understand what you're going at with this, but like bona fide scores can also get cold. Like Tyrese Maxey stunk up the joint yesterday.
Yes,
like,
he did.
But
that's like, okay.
You also
2 out of 10.
Jimmy is also still a very effective two-way player. I mean, there are questions about his durability. So, like, I'm just saying, handing him over to one of your rivals or having him go back to one of your rivals for picks. Yeah, you better get an all-star.
I know, no. And I'm just hypothetically putting it up. You're not going to let Jimmy go without getting one of those stars. But every shortcoming this year has been centered not around defense, because the Heat have defended without Jimmy. They kept the Boston Celtics, the highest scoring team. No, they were second highest, right? I think Indianapolis was the highest scoring team. Kept them near 100 points, except for the last stinker, right? So defensively, they have been okay. It's the scoring. Dude, you can't be in the NBA today and
yeah, but like there's part of that too, though. Like you can't just discount like what Jimmy can do as far as from a scoring standpoint, and like from the two-way side of things. He gets those leakouts, he goes and gets those steals and causes chaos and that kind of stuff. And also, like as we've seen, a lot of this is a physicality where they try and take you out with guys. And man, damn, outside of like Denver, nobody can do that to him in the playoffs. Nobody can get him off of his spot.
Well, they're monstars.
Yeah,
they're giants.
But like, there's not people that can do it. It's just a question of like there are numbers though. If you look, this was in a Bobby Marks piece in ESPN, just talking about his success at driving to the hoop has gone way down this year. And those are the things.
He's been missing. He missed a lot of those shots.
Yeah, and those are the things you worry about where you're like, all right, do we give this guy – essentially we're just saying, like, all right, what's the debate here? Are you going to give Jimmy Butler an extra $60 million a year? That's really what we're talking about.
When you wouldn't give D-Wade a $20 million.
I understand, but if the cap is the cap now.
But that's fine.
It's samesies. Like, we're talking about D-Wade wanted an extra, max year. Jimmy wants an extra max year.
Okay.
So, and I know you didn't do it to D-Wade, but also that sucked. That was a terrible mistake. Didn't you agree?
Yes.
So, I guess the question is, do the Heat stick with that, or is Pat Riley still going to be like, nah, sorry, player?
Hey, Pat Riley's Pat Riley.
I know Pat Riley's Pat Riley.
Everybody know Pat Riley. And every player.
Pat Riley did also give Deion Waiters a 4-year deal. Pat Riley did also give Deion Waiters a 4-year deal. He gave James Johnson a 4-year deal. Like, Pat Riley can also get schmoozed by
what is it?
He gave Hassan Whiteside a max deal.
Like the Marlins owner.
Oh,
when he gave, what was the picture?
Schmeathan says Jimmy for Durant makes more sense. Yeah, it's gonna be on. Like, we're gonna have to see Durant make a stick. Like, I heard that Suns owner, like, he seems like a crazy person. He's like, nobody. He's like 29 other teams would trade for our roster. I'm like, dude, you just got bounced. You got swept. He's lashing out.
Now, here's the thing. I when I look at the Suns, right? That one of the things where I would be a little more patient with that is because we said the same thing about Dallas last year.
Okay, that's right.
And now all of a sudden, Kyrie and Luka play very well together, right? The only thing that I hate about that situation is, dude, trading for hurt players is not my thing, right? And Bradley, you knew what you were getting when you traded for Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And guess what you got? So from that standpoint, it seems to be like it doesn't matter that they're hurt. It matters to me. So I don't know.
And also because of the way, with Luka and Kyrie, like, you have 2 guys who make that money. They have 3. So it's tougher to put around stuff around them,
Correct.
Like the Dallas Mavericks are able to still make some support moves to make some things happen. When you got 3 of those guys, it makes it really, really tough.
Well, it also, listen, they almost have those 3 guys and they're doing this, right? Here's what they're doing. Well, if 2 of the 3 play, we're still going to be okay, right? But we need 2 of them to play because that's all they're getting, right? So I don't know. Now, the other thing is that there's a lot of guys making a lot of money that are best suited to come off the bench and would have more production. But the fact that you say coming off the bench.
Yeah, we'll get into that because UD had some comments that's echoed a lot of your stuff on Tyler. He was on ESPN, making the rounds on ESPN yesterday. So we'll get into some of that later
with his non-white beard. Wink, wink.
What is that?
You know damn well what that is. But ain't nothing.
Take a break. More from Radio Row after
ain't
this.
nothing but neutral perm.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We're live from Radio Row in Las Vegas. All right, yesterday, making the rounds was Mayweather Promotions CEO Leonard Ellerby, and of course, has been around some of the biggest boxing matches in the sport. And we talked a little bit of that with him, and appreciate, by the way, Premier Boxing Champions for flying us out here, putting us up at New York Hotel and Casino. We're having a lot of fun here in Las Vegas. Here is our interview with Leonard Ellerby. Everybody, Tobin and Leroy here, live from Las Vegas. It is a huge fight weekend. Canelo Alvarez is taking on Jaime Munguia live. Premier Boxing Champions pay-per-view on Amazon Prime. One of the best boxing minds out there, Leonard Ellerby, kind enough to join us again. Leonard, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
It's a true pleasure. Canelo Alvarez fight weeks. You've been amongst the biggest of them with Floyd Mayweather. But is there a different vibe with the Canelo fight week that you find?
Well, again, he is a iconic figure in boxing and has been for quite some time. This is huge for his country, Mexico. It's huge. You know, this is Mexico versus Mexico. You got Jaime Munguia, a young fighter who's on the rise, who's looking to knock off the king of Mexico. And we know that he's going to be bringing everything come Saturday night. You know, in Canelo's case, he's been the guy. He's been that guy out there. Who's been the face of the country, who's been on a roll for quite some time. He's fought everybody, you know, over the last couple decades. And this is a huge fight, a huge fight. And the last thing Canelo wants to do is to be dethroned by the young guy.
Yeah. I was watching the countdown to all of it, and they threw back to when he fought Floyd. And just at such a young age, but like, what do you think? Do you think back to that Canelo fight and think like, oh, he was going to have this, you know, reign of success from that lesson that was that night?
Yeah, and actually, I that's where kind of me and Canelo's relationship kind of first started. You know, I've told a couple people this story. You know, after it was post-fight. Like maybe Wednesday, I normally stick around here in the MGM, you know, just handling business after the fights. And I saw him. We were upstairs, and we both got on the elevator, the private elevator. And you know, he had on like a hoodie, and he kind of was just coming the elevator he was with one of his guys. And I looked, and I didn't know if that was him at first, because when he got on, he just kind of just went in the corner. Looked and went over, man, pick your head up. You got nothing to help put your head down. You've just fought the best fighter in the world, and you came up short. And I understand that you're disappointed, but you will learn from this. There's no shame in losing to Floyd Mayweather. Pick your head up. And I know you probably feel as though you let your country down, but no. And this will be something, an experience that you have went through that will benefit you in the long run. And sure enough, you look at his career post the Floyd Mayweather fight. He learned so much from that fight. That's why he's fought every style there is in boxing. And that's why come Saturday night, Jaime Munguia is in for a rude awakening.
I'm curious, you know, I feel like you always, you know, stick up for your fighters as, you know, as you're one to do. But like yesterday at the press conference, there's, you know, the tension between him and Oscar De La Hoya from their past. What did you make of that whole thing? Like, was it surprising to you at all?
No, not at all. Not at all. Oscar had this plan for however long. You see, he had a speech, you know, all put together. As opposed to most people could just react, you know. Just react to what's going on. There's nothing wrong with having a prepared statement at all, but again, he wanted to kind of shake things up a little bit. And there's definitely been tension between those two because they have a history together. Yes, he did start out at Golden Boy Promotions from the beginning of his career, but I think you got to give the credit to his team meaning Oscar's team.
Yeah.
You got to give guys like Richard Schaefer, Eric Gomez, Robert Diaz, and his staff, you know, the people behind the scenes who were, you know, helping putting together their events and stuff. You got to give them the credit because they were actually doing the day-to-day stuff, the nuts and bolts. Oscar didn't do any of that. He wasn't even around half the time.
Yeah, it's like you would think a guy who's, you know, as iconic as him, you know, people would want to look up, but it does feel like a lot of his fighters get frustrated with him.
Well, I can't really speak on what they got going on, and I just know I don't like him. I just know that I don't like him. You know, and I have my own reasons why I don't like him, and that's that, you know. And it's kind of been I'm not the only one who feels that way. So, again, he's doing his thing, and that's what it is.
You know, Jaime Munguia is, you know, buzzing around here. Everybody's got all the cameras in it. When you see a guy step into the big stage, they got to fight a Floyd Mayweather or a Tank or a Canelo. How hard is that, do you think, for these young up-and-coming stars? Maybe they've main evented events, but can you speak to, I guess, just the different level of like a world-watching event and what they have to deal with that?
Yeah, and don't be surprised if when he's in that tunnel and he hears the fans, you know, a packed arena, and he hears the fans and he realizes that this is his moment, you know, we're going to see how he responds, because he's never seen nothing like what he's about to face on Saturday night. And you look at the other guy. He's been here 1,000 times. He's fought in front of packed arenas on numerous occasions against every style there is. And, again, I'm sure at some point early in his career, I don't know how he feels now, but that he probably has always looked up to Canelo because he's a fellow countryman.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm sure I know for a fact there's mutual respect, you know, because Jaime Munguia is a respectful young man who's on the rise. And again, he's had some wonderful things that have happened to him. He's 42-0, undefeated. You know, he has a terrific trainer in Freddie Roach. But on Saturday night, is a whole different animal.
What has been your reaction to the whole Ryan Garcia positive test news that came in the middle of this week?
I really don't have a reaction because I don't have all the information. And I'm not one to jump out there and speak on something that I don't know nothing about.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's like we don't know with these supplements or these tests or any of these things, but it does feel like with dealing with this in boxing and your fighters, how much of a concern is that stuff to make sure that these guys, I guess, are clean or on the level and all that stuff?
Well, I can only speak of the major events that I've been involved in.
Yeah.
We've made it a point to have extensive testing, and sometimes there are adverse findings and things like this, and as a promoter you have to deal with them. Again, that's why I don't want to prematurely jump out there and give an opinion on something I don't have all the information on.
No.
Because that would be irresponsible on my part. I know that there's an adverse finding in what is publicly been said, but I haven't seen or heard of what the B sample is. And, you know, I'm just hearing just like you guys, so I'm not going to just prematurely jump out there and just trash the guy without having all the information.
When you, I remember that was kind of like a big thing back with, the Floyd and Manny buildup was like forever. That was like always a chapter, like, oh, you're on this, you're on that. If you think a guy is maybe do it, like, what are the precautions? Like, is it just the testing
I can't speak on the Floyd Manny thing because I was involved.
Yeah.
Okay. We could not agree to the drug testing. That side, they wanted a cutoff. So let's be clear about that.
Okay.
Okay. They agreed that, yeah, let's do testing, but they wanted a cutoff. Okay. Why do you want a cutoff? And after that cutoff date, you can't test no more. Why? And we said no. Floyd was very adamant. If it's a level playing field, yeah, we're going to do it. But other than that, no. What do you need a cutoff a cutoff for.
How much back and forth was there on that? Like, do you remember how long?
No, it wasn't.
Or just was a one-time like no, and that's it.
Yeah, we couldn't get past that. So we're not putting our guy in there with the unknown, and our guy wouldn't do it anyway. He wouldn't do it anyway. What would we want to put someone in a situation like that where there's an uneven playing field? Your health is more important than anything.
Leonard Ellerby, I appreciate you stopping by. We got a great pay-per-view coming up. Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. What do you think for a guy, just before we get you out of here, Canelo Alvarez, undisputed champion. He's gone up in weight. Like, what do you think? It was interesting hearing him say, like, I don't know. I take this fight by fight. Maybe I want to do 10 more. Maybe this will be my last one. Who knows? But as a guy who's known him for a long time, what do you think still ticks for him? Like, what do you think of the things that interests him left for legacy?
Man, come Saturday night, we're gonna see the old Canelo where he wants to make a big statement. And I think that he's really motivated because, again, this is for all the marbles. This is for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. And his entire country is going to be watching, and the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people around the world will also be tuned in. You're going to have a sold-out arena come Saturday night, and again, he wants to put on an impressive performance. I know that for a fact.
We appreciate you, Leonard. Thank you so much for giving us some time.
And we want to tell the fans, be sure to order right now. Don't wait. And remember, there is the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start time. Okay? 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Early start for everybody out there in Miami. So
yes,
check that on out. I know everybody down there is buzzing for this one, Leonard. We love our fighting down there. And we got to get more fights back down there.
Yeah.
You know what, man? You guys, not just you, but I'm just saying, like, we were like a little pandemic hub for a little bit.
Yeah.
But, man, it was fun having everybody down there.
Right.
Miami's a party. Like, I think it would be fun to get everybody back down there.
It's a big party. I love Miami.
Thanks for the time, Leonard. Thank you.
All right, boss man.
Our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Chris Sims can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We're live from Radio Row in Las Vegas. We got
action,
we got
baby.
some action, baby. Yeah, the official weigh-in is going on right now, Marcos. I think something's going on with Jaime Munguia, dude, because it looks like he weighed in early or something like that because he had his shirt off and commission looks. So maybe they're giving him an extra time to go make whatever weight he has to.
He's got to go run in the parking lot. Is he going to run around?
I don't know, Dan. It's interesting because usually like you have the opponents who are squaring off. I don't see Canelo, but Munguia, I didn't see him get on the scale because we had the stage in front of us, but we saw him with he's down to his undies. And then
Can I ask you a question, Dan?
Yeah. What?
And this is what I asked him.
What?
There was a guy we watching the weigh-in. He had to take his drawers off.
There's no way. Like, does that save that much weight?
Right. That's my point. That's my point.
Not nothing.
That did
He was trying to make I mean, they made him a $123 and he was fist bumping. Like,
well, I mean, he's got to make weight. I mean, and he had to be in the nude.
Yeah.
But how much difference is draws gonna make?
Drawers have to weigh like a half an ounce.
Dude,
look, everything
let me
counts.
tell you something.
Everything counts, dude.
The only way you don't make weight wearing draws is if they made a goal.
Well, then why would they do it if it didn't matter?
To make them feel better. It doesn't matter.
Ridiculous.
Dude. It doesn't matter.
So wait, he was stark naked up on the scale?
No,
naked, dude.
Well, no.
They just put a drape in front of him, but he's naked on that scale.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
It's the dumbest thing in the world.
That's crazy.
And this guy next to me, is telling me it matters. I don't know why they do it. It doesn't.
I'm not
matter.
saying it matters. I'm saying why would they do it if it didn't matter?
To make them feel better.
That's silly.
Because
nobody wants to be naked for
Dude.
no reason.
Dude, how much you think the heaviest pair of draws in the world?
I don't know, dude. When you were at the what the hell was it called? The airport. They were telling you, hey sir, lose some jeans for 4 pounds.
for 2 pounds. Put some jeans.
So I don't know what the answer is to that, but what I do know is they do it, you know. And so if the drape is coming out, you know, you can't rule it out.
Right. I guess.
That used to flip me out though.
I just think look, as a grown man, right? As and any other human being, right? When was the last time you saw somebody have to make weight and the cutoff was draws? Right? It sounds ridiculous. Right?
Dude, I think pushing off a towel.
Right, exactly.
Let's see.
I can understand a towel more than your drawers. Your drawers are just
a towel's different.
Yeah,
right?
a towel can have like water in
Water,
it.
it can be moisture.
Towels can be heavy.
It could be that 300 thread.
Yeah, those nice towels.
Nice soft towel, right?
You think Munguia is taking a page out of Ryan Garcia's book? He's just saying screw the weight.
I
don't know.
I don't know.
It's what the cool kids are doing now.
But I tell you what. I tell you one thing. They not canceling this fight.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what does it matter? Like, you're too heavy. You're out.
Yeah, they'll lose a lot of money.
Everybody goes home. Everybody go home.
Prize fighting. They're fighting for money. So there's
Go
certain
home.
parameters you got to fill, and then I think that money goes to the other boxer, right?
Yeah.
Right.
does. Yeah, it does.
So,
But like the thing that would piss me off is Canelo be like, I don't need the money. Like,
right.
I don't need the money. I don't know. I don't think they're sweating it too much. I mean, maybe he's we were talking to some lady. Maybe he's going to take us some X-Lax. Maybe he'll be back in a few minutes.
That used to trip me out. Like I was saying, we used to do like MMA fights and we weigh in at like Hooters, and you'd see grown men in garbage bags sitting in their car with the heater on in the middle of the summer. And you're like, what the hell? Oh, it's a guy trying to make weight. And sure enough,
Hooters loves doing the MMA weigh-ins.
Huh?
Hooters loves doing the MMA weigh-ins.
I
We saw that here in
love
Vegas.
a Hooters weigh-in too.
But here, Dan, when we saw it here, it was like a pop-up. We were like, oh, there's a card. Like it was just a pop. I said, wait, I think they're doing a weigh-in.
Man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Pretty wild. We'll get to some headlines here brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
The Panthers will start off coming up on Sunday. Will be their playoff series. We don't know who they'll play. There is a game 7 coming up between the Bruins.
Who you want to play? The Bruins or Toronto? I'd rather play Toronto.
Why? Because you just respect the Bruins more?
Well, no, I just think like the Bruins coming in for some get back. Toronto know what they get.
Well, they beat them both last year.
No, I know.
Remember those dummy fans?
Remember the
Toronto?
Bruins? But the Bruins were they won the President's
They
Cup.
were a record-breaking team,
Right?
And then Toronto, their idiot fans were like, "We want Florida."
Yeah.
We want Florida. Are they blocking us off? This is ridiculous.
I don't know.
See, let me tell you something, dude.
You know you're in trouble.
You know there's
one of the ladies that's helping us out here.
Yep.
She goes, I weigh more than him, and she's tiny.
Here's what's hilarious about this. You want to tell me that there isn't controversy going on right now, dude? Well, Dan, let me just show you what's going on here, dude. They're
Let's
like
see
putting up
this.
blockers for us. They don't want us to see something.
Someone's getting naked, weighing in.
Something's happening, dude.
No, I think he's gonna miss weight.
Yeah.
Who
got issues? Yeah, there's a rumble going on here, dude.
We got a Texan.
We definitely got some.
We got a cowboy. He was carrying a belt.
Cowboy.
See him?
Yeah, I did see that guy.
Yeah, see him up. You can see him up front.
You need a gimmick when you show up to a radio row to get attention. You know,
someone's gonna miss
I don't
weight.
know, a cowboy hat with a belt. I think the belt's gonna take more precedence over the.
Everyone's got a belt here.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Everyone's got a belt.
Remember
dude.
when Chucky came out? He had 17 belts.
I don't understand.
What do we
Damage
do
is
with
done.
all that?
We've already seen everybody.
No, we haven't. We haven't seen.
I just think it's funny.
Right.
I just think it's funny they're putting this stuff up. It's hilarious.
It is.
Like, hey, what's the difference? Like, here's my thing that's funny about it, right? Like, no one's gonna know if you miss weight. We're gonna know. Someone's gonna tweet about it. People with connections are gonna tweet about it. Who cares?
Right.
Man.
So you think that's what it's about?
Yeah, absolutely. Why would
And they went over to figure out the cut?
I don't know. But we haven't seen anybody on stage in a little bit.
Yeah.
They're putting up blockers.
Is there the
on
only
us.
two? They're the only two left, right?
I mean, like, how can you not know your weight and get?
Actually,
you know when
I
the day is
Dude,
coming.
Dan. Let me just say this. You're a tad bit over $1.25.
Yeah.
You can't be making a big deal about making weight.
Yeah, but if I need to be within a certain range or a certain weight, I can do that.
It's not that easy. I'm telling you.
Is it not that easy?
Because you've never had to go through it.
Okay.
Right?
But I mean, you tell me I need to
think
be...
about this. A guy who normally weighs, just walking around living his life, 185 pounds.
Right.
And before a fight, he has to get down to 168.
Okay.
That's no easy task.
Oh, here we go. Let's see what we got going on here.
They blocking a lot of stuff,
trying
dude.
to block some stuff off.
You can't block me forever. I'm gonna look.
You can't block these
Get
eyes,
in there.
dude.
Get in there,
You
Leroy.
can't block these eyes.
No, you can't.
So the listening
man.
public needs to know.
Now I feel like I need to pull a Tobin.
Why?
Because now I'm being. Oh, she's gonna take her.
No. Not our poster. We're using it.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, the picture's cool. See, it looks like we have two posters.
It does. It
Yeah.
is. You did a great job. You know.
I know.
You got a future in scene
I know.
design, dude.
I got here so early that I had to make our setup not look like we were in witness protection.
We'll take a quick break. We're live
We're
here.
gonna find out what's up. We're
From
gonna let y'all know. I'm doing some.
We're live here
private
from the
investigation.
MGM Grand.
I'm doing some secretive.
Thank you to Premier Boxing Champions for flying us out here, putting us up at New York Hotel and Casino for Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, which is live on pay-per-view tomorrow. Amazon Prime is where you guys can get it. We will take a quick break. Be back with more after this. everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. They took our sign, Dan.
They did. We're back in.
They took our sign.
Were they mad?
But for good reason.
Well, yeah, we found out why. There's not
Yes.
apparently there's not a weigh-in controversy. Kind of. It's not about making weight, but apparently Canelo is going to weigh in at some point soon, and so it's at the same time Oscar De La Hoya is going to be, I guess, making media rounds. We'll see if we can snag him. We put the request in, so we'll see if we can get the Golden Boy on with us. But it is fun here. We appreciate Golden Boy for having us, or for Premier Boxing for having us out here for Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, as we will be going up until 2 o'clock here today, and check things going out here for this upcoming pay-per-view, which is coming at you on Saturday.
I got to tell you, I'm feeling a little Tobin right now.
Why's that?
I want to see the action.
You want to see some controversy?
Some controversy.
Yeah, baby.
I mean,
That's
the last time we had Oscar De La Hoya on,
that was
also
at
the David Copperfield.
That was when him and Canelo were together. Yeah, that's true. It was.
It was crazy.
That was wild. That was with they were telling us, they're like, hey, just keep rest in peace to Tracy. Tracy used to set these up.
Just keep doing your show.
She's like, just you do you. I'm like, there's a press conference going on 4 feet in front of us.
Right, remember he did the MMA thing. He did and so he got up and started talking. So we were like talking to him, and Tobin goes, "Hey man, give him a mic."
And that was a fun time for sure. But yeah, man, we got this going out. There's it's kind of quieted down here, Dan. They look like they've slowed down on people weighing in.
Ever since somebody had to make weight by getting naked.
Yeah.
So why they take your sign?
Huh?
Why they?
Well,
because
they're
blocking.
I guess they're gonna they're gonna block off, like Canelo doesn't have eyes or doesn't know where everybody is. But there's a lot of back and forth between them. They don't want any kind of kerfuffle, I guess, and so they're trying to block off the view back here at Radio Row, and I guess that's their whole plan on it.
And your sign is one of the resources. They don't have any other resources.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll give you a look. This is what it is now. So like they basically put up a blockade. You see those like white things? Those are the signs. And it's pretty far back here anyway. I don't think Canelo could really see back here all the way if De La Hoya was back.
Can I just say something? When you hate somebody, you can spot their ass from anywhere.
You can feel them. You can feel them.
You can feel them.
Yeah.
There he is, the Golden Boy.
You can spot him from anywhere.
Hopping on over.
See how they brought him in the back door?
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
He's suited and booted, the Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Looking sharp for
Yeah.
this what's going on? Oscar De La Hoya sitting down. He's going over, I guess, to the LA station.
Yep.
Check it out. We got our crew over there, but he's getting ready.
What's happening?
What's up, Oscar? How are you, man? He's sitting down. This is how you sell fights, dude. We got to get it going. Brouhaha. What? Problem?
Dan, I know this man.
Let's go.
He's going to do him.
I'm not going to do me. I promise.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
I mean, like, to me, this man is regarded as one of the best to ever do it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
Olympic medals.
Right.
Championship.
And so I respect what he's done in the fight game.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get to the dirt.
That's okay.
I would avoid the dirt because I respect him so much. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And that's kind of where I am with that. If something should happen to come out, that's a different. But trying to draw it out, I ain't down with that.
Oh.
You guys like that. He likes that.
Does Canelo still sell Tecate beer, and does De La Hoya sell any beer?
I don't know.
Oh, they don't do that
They're
anymore?
on something new.
I don't know.
Because on the poster, he used to always have
Hard to
Tecate,
say.
right? On the poster is something else.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I'm at. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
I asked somebody this. MMA, boxing, right? The whole fight game. They spend all their time cutting weight, staying fit, getting ripped. And most of them promote energy drinks, which kind of come like, right?
So you gotta-
It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing when you got to cut
Oh, really?
15, 20 pounds. An energy drink is,
Well, you gotta-
kind of tough.
I mean, they used to say what Floyd Mayweather and stuff would be running at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting some exercise in. Maybe you need a little
Floyd
something.
Mayweather is the anomaly. And
Okay.
plus he weighed what, 140?
I don't know. Yeah, he was quite tiny.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
look.
We're
Yeah.
going
Jaime
at
just
it.
weighed in.
He's good.
I think
Making
so.
weight. All right, good.
Why would they do all that celebrating?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
It's a
Wait,
good question.
not Canelo.
All right, we got Canelo stepping to the stage right now. It's a very busy time right here.
You guys are rubbing
Yeah.
some elbows. Are you shaking Oscar De
We're
La Hoya's
hobnobbing,
hand?
dude. We are
Canelo's out
hobnobbing
there.
today.
Not
Getting this
bad.
going.
Oh, come on, dude.
What?
No, this guy. He's blocking around.
Oh, you're trying to see? You're trying to get a view?
Yeah.
What, you trying to see a
Wild.
man get naked and weigh in? Is that what
No,
you're
no,
doing?
no. They're not getting. It was just the one guy trying to make 120 something.
Schmeathan is like, do they know that? Hey, Schmeathan, we got a lot going on right now, dude. All right, we're a little
What did he
distracted.
say?
He's like, do they know they're on air? Hey, you know what? We're trying to catch the scene right now. All right, it's a Friday out in Vegas. We're having some fun, baby. Let me make up. My heart was broken yesterday from the Miami Heat.
Somebody
losing.
says this accurate. Dolphins signed OBJ.
Officially?
I don't know.
Let's see. Odell Beckham.
I mean, if we did, we got to get that discount.
Yep. According to Tom Pelissero, Odell Beckham Jr. is signing with. Let me just make sure it's real Tom Pelissero. It is.
So Tyreek Hill, he wasn't fronting. He was being real.
He
Tyreek. Dade South reported it.
Odell Beckham Jr. is signing with
How
the
much?
Miami Dolphins.
Ask Frog Boy. You think he gets more than $7 million?
Yeah, of course.
You do?
Oh, do I think that Odell gets more than $7 million?
Yeah.
I think
Close.
so. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't-
He ain't
Would you be
coming to play for
surprised?
free.
You'd be surprised at that amount?
Yeah.
He getting that
I think
Isidore.
it'd be 5 have a chance to make 10, something like that.
Leroy, he's getting that Isidore Newman money. You know that. He's gonna get that $7 million.
What's up, Martin?
What's up,
dude?
Mark?
Oh, look at
What's
that.
that?
Yeah, so Odell coming to the
Yeah,
Miami Dolphins.
Coming to Miami.
How
Tyreek
about
Hill
that?
said, confirmed, coming to Miami.
Excited, dude. Yeah,
Love
Tyreek
it.
Hill did call it. Tyreek Hill did call it.
But they know. Let me tell you. They know.
Yeah, he knows.
Right? They know. Because here's what you do. You know where Tyreek Hill is on the list, right?
Mhm.
Of people that loved in the organization. He could go and say, hey man, my guy really wants to go here. You know, make it work.
Yeah, let's make it happen, baby.
Yeah.
Odell.
They'll put it, they'll put it, and then they'll come and say, your guy's asking for too much. Right? And then they just go back and forth.
And then he just goes, little
It's
sweetener?
Tyreek. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Little sweetener? Can we make it happen?
Yeah.
And he's like,
You know, he's just is he to the point now he's just a gun for hire?
Odell?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, a little bit. You know, and but do you feel like he provides something different than what they got?
Yes. I think
Because I think everybody's just
he's a slot. He can be a slot guy.
everybody here is just worried about redundancy. That's like I think the thing. And then so like you need somebody.
No, he's a more, believe it or not, I look at him as more of a like a ball control, a guy you can depend on catching the ball, a guy that's going to get open, like one of those guys.
Mhm.
Like you can do a lot of different things with him that will allow them to use all their other pieces that much more.
Yeah.
Right. So before you had Waddle and Tyreek, and you would just move them around, and other guys would have catches. But keep in mind, look at all the slot guys they had that they tried to make work. Barrios.
Yep. They still have.
They still have, but they tried to make that work. And it really, it almost seemed like they liked it, but they weren't really satisfied with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so now you got a proven guy, and now you have a better chance of, you know, getting probably what you want out of your stars, because you have somebody that can also garner attention inside. Now, eventually, I'm more than sure he wants to do this with a tight end.
You think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, they got a guy with some talent there with Jonnu.
Yeah, but I think listen, if you look at all the offenses that he's been a part of and Mike McDaniel, they all had a tight end. All of them. Damn near Hall of Fame tight ends. Right? So when you're talking about a position that he deems very important, that he's almost trying to run with a slot receiver instead of a tight end. Because here's what that offense does. More than anything, the reason why this offense is so effective with a tight end, because you put that tight end on the end of the line of scrimmage, he running slot receiver routes, but they're also running the football. That is tough. Do you go in with nickel? Do you put a linebacker in and that linebacker can't keep up with that tight end and he's running across the field wide open like Kittle does, like all the tight ends he's had in his system? So that's where this is trying to get to.
1 year, 8.25 for Odell, according to Waddle, baby Waddle.
So check this out.
Ian Rappaport.
I'm surprised our boy haven't chimed in. Because he said, what's $7 million?
Who, Frog Boy?
Oh yeah.
He'll wake up soon enough.
Yeah.
Wherever he is. But he is I'm sure that's gonna happen with him any time now with when he gets the news of this, whenever it is. Let's see. Yeah. He took less than was offered elsewhere, wanted the fit. Okay. That's according to Ian Rappaport.
Hey, they always put that in there.
Always a thing. Hey, it makes it sound good, though.
Right.
It does make it sound good.
Because here's what it makes it. It makes it sound good for the team.
Yep.
Because then maybe other guys will take less.
Yeah.
Because they know there's a chance to win, right? And it looks good to him because now everybody has it on notice that this is not about money.
Right.
But it is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. All right, we'll take a quick break here. We're live from Radio Row. Back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here. We are live from Radio Row in Las Vegas.
If I may.
We'll get to that in just a second. Let me just get some business out of the way here. First, we got Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia coming up tomorrow live on pay-per-view. Appreciate Premier Boxing Champions for having us out here, flying us out, putting us up at the New York Hotel and Casino. And looking forward to that action tomorrow. Weigh-ins going on right now. Official weigh-ins going on right now. And
the only person who has weighed in is
Canelo, which is, the whole point of the dividers because they were worried about drama.
But what kind of who's going to do what?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. They've already seen each other once. I feel like they've seen each other a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's get to this. So if you guys are just tuned in, breaking news for the Miami Dolphins. Odell Beckham Jr. has signed with the Miami Dolphins. Now, ESPN.
Hold on. I got this. Hey, Smeathan.
Why are you going to yell at Smeathan?
Because he's the first one that put it up there.
He wasn't, actually. It was Waddle Baby Waddle.
Waddle Baby Waddle. Okay. Eminem put it perfectly. Up to $8.25 million. It's not an $8.25 million contract. The base is $3 million with a chance to earn $8.25, which is a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, if he earns
it, I hope he does.
If he earns 8.25, that sounds amazing.
Right,
he probably would have had a monster year.
Correct.
But yeah, Marcel Louis Jacques, first person I saw it on Twitter with, he says confirmed via source. Dolphins have agreed to terms with Odell Beckham. It is a 1-year, $3 million deal with incentives that could push it up to $8.25 million.
Big difference.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
It's an awesome deal. You feel, guess what? You feel a lot better about that deal at $3 million with a chance to earn 8.2 than 8.2 with all your other needs. Is that a fair assessment? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
But so you go into this thing and now you have an arsenal for Tua that, of course, has the Cheetah, has Waddle, and now has Odell Beckham Jr. with Jonnu Smith at tight end. Durham Smythe's still going to do his intangibles things.
Well, here's the deal. You were able to create depth with a guy who in his prime was one of the best in the league. And you saw last year that he can still produce. So it wasn't a situation where, you're throwing it out there and hoping like they did doing basketball, right? You bring 35-year-old and hope he can. This is not a Patty Mills deal, right?
I hope it's not a Patty Mills deal.
No, but OBJ was productive last year.
Yeah, he was productive. It wasn't monster numbers, but he wasn't.
He was a third receiver.
Yeah, it was, that was the Zay Flowers show last year for them.
Right. So, and keep in mind, the reason why they paid him so much last year, because they didn't know Zay Flowers was going to be Zay Flowers. So they going into the year thinking Odell Beckham was going to have to be more productive.
Look, man, this guy is, I think it's one of those things you hope Mike McDaniel's going to look at it. And I think he knows he wouldn't have done it if he doesn't feel like he can utilize him to the best of his ability. That's one of the things you got to trust. You got to trust Mike on that stuff.
Like all the things I said before, the single-handed most important thing you guys need to pay attention to going into next year. One position. What are they doing with the tight end? If the tight end is productive, he don't have to be Kittle's great, but if he's productive from the end of the line of scrimmage, the offense is going to be damn near unstoppable. Because if you look at all the offenses that Mike McDaniel has had success in, that tight end has been a key part of it.
Yeah, it definitely has, and it's kind of been an afterthought the last couple of years.
Well, it's not. You know what? Here,
they didn't throw one touchdown to a tight end last year.
I would say it hasn't been an afterthought, but they haven't had one guy that could do both things. So when he first got here, he had what's his name? Gesicki.
Yeah,
he had Gesicki, who basically was a slot receiver.
Yeah, Wasn't a fit. They didn't.
They
hit it
tried to
off.
put him on the end of the line of scrimmage. It didn't really work because nobody took him serious as a blocker.
Right.
Now you have Durham Smythe, who's a hell of a blocker.
Yep.
But he's not going to run any substantial routes down the field, the deep crossing routes and stuff like that.
Uh-oh. What's going on? What's going on?
We are.
Tobin's standing up.
Oh, so, yeah. We're gonna get the golden boy here.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
We getting in line, baby.
we getting in line. We're gonna be. We'll have a weird top of the hour segment though, Dan, because it's gonna be at like 10 after the hour.
That's Oscar De La Hoya. Come on.
Yep.
Anyway, getting back to this.
So just pay attention to what they might think Jonnu Smith is going to be that, right?
Yeah.
But just look for if I think they need the tight end to have 45 to 50 catches.
Is Jonnu Smith that guy?
I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know.
I thought Durham Smythe was good last year. Good, not
he
great.
He was, but Durham Smythe had what? 25 catches?
Yeah, but he's like Durham Smythe is what he is. Like Durham Smythe is
Right.
a
You
badass.
can't be-
he's going to go out there and wreck fools, and he's going to make intangible sketches.
Right. He's not versatile. Right. He wants the versatility at that position.
Jonnu last year, 17 games. He had 50 catches, 582 yards, 11.6 yards per catch, 3 touchdowns.
There you go. That's it. If you can get 45 to 50 catches out of your tight end and still able to line them up on the end of the line of scrimmage, that changes the way you have to do a lot of things. Because keep in mind, Jonnu Smith's big enough, you can't just put a DB over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to bring in a linebacker? Because now you're in base defense trying to cover your linebacker, cover your tight end with a linebacker, and you got Tyreek and Waddle you can't double running all over to the secondary and OBJ, right? Let's go that route. If you say, you know what, we ain't worried about it, we can block, we're going to stay in nickel and we can guard him that way, right? Now you can either run the football, you can still throw the football, but now you have a whole lot of other things that your offense, those decisions complement the rest of your offense. So it's interesting to see, like, great, you got Odell Beckham. Great, you're going to have a lot of healthy guys. Great, you signed some offensive linemen. But the most important signing for this offense was the tight end.
Mm.
And just look at and just don't see. I'll give you a little inside scoop. When coaches switch teams, when we would watch film, say a defense coordinator would switch. Say if a defense coordinator came from Miami and went to Green Bay, right?
Go ahead.
We would watch Miami film.
Right.
We would watch Miami film to see what his tendencies were. We wouldn't watch Green Bay film. We haven't seen him do anything with that talent yet.
Right.
But to get an idea of what defense he's going to play, what things he's going to attempt to do, it's right. And so from that standpoint, when teams watch what the Dolphins are doing, they're probably watching some tape on Atlanta. They're watching some tape on San Francisco to kind of see what the thought process is with these offensive schemes, right? But you can't beat talent, right? You can't beat weapons. And in the last couple of years, as great as this offense has been, you've had one position that the defense has never had to really defend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's tight end.
Here are the numbers for Odell last year. He started 6 games. He only played 14 last year. 35 catches, 565 yards, 16.1 yards per catch, 3 touchdowns.
All right.
So there you go.
He'll have, my guess is, he'll have around 50 catches.
Okay. It's a good number 3.
Tyreek.
But it's just it's a more respectable threat, right? Like, no disrespect to the guys that they had last year.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you still got to respect Odell Beckham. And dude,
nobody's staying late after practice to work on River Craycraft routes.
I'm still betting River Craycraft anytime touchdown every week. Every week.
Just saying.
It's the happiest.
I'm just saying.
Dan, it's the happiest $10 I throw away every week. I'm like, River Craycraft, anytime touchdown plus 1,500.
I would listen
and
to
the days that I hit it, I will be thrilled.
I would listen to pregame every week when I'm heading down to the stadium, and I'd hear you talking about River Craycraft anytime touchdowns.
Waste of time, but I love it. I love it.
Somebody just said I trade Tyler for a guaranteed first spot in the DMV line. Those lines get long.
Value's tough. Right
I'd trade a
now.
lot to get first in line at the DMV.
The value is tough right now, man. It is tough. But no, man, this is exciting. And look, I do think it's a cool thing, for everybody who's been frustrated with the Miami Dolphins. I do think that it is cool that this is an attractive place. I know it's an amazing place to live. I know the state tax and all that.
Right.
But this is, I think, where, what they put into the organization, what Stephen Ross has put in the organization, and then, of course, people wanted to play for Mike McDaniel.
Yes.
I think has paid off.
Listen, this organization has gone through a reboot, not only with players, not only with the organization, not only with the investment they've made to the team with the new facilities and the upgraded stadium, but also what they're willing to do and spend on their players, right? You think about before Stephen Ross took over, they would never invest money like this into free agents and stuff like that, right? It just didn't happen. And so now you see, like, I would not say they're all in, but they're certainly they're spending everything they possibly can.
Yeah,
We have a
they're in.
reaction from Jalen Waddle on social media, boys. Jalen Waddle, star Dolphin receiver. He tweets out,
Love it.
OBJ, that's tough. That's tough. With not one, not two, not three, but 4 fire emojis.
Why? Because that's going to be his number?
I don't know. What?
I don't know.
No, I think
Why
he's
4?
I don't know. Very fired up.
Okay.
I don't know what his number's going to be. He was 3 last year.
Who's 3?
He obviously can't be 13.
No.
That's retired.
Ooh,
Who is 3?
Maybe
on the
he'd be 3
Dolphins?
again.
Yeah, maybe 3 again. I don't know who's 3.
it's a real solid number 3, and I'm talking about as a receiver, not just his number on his.
Yeah,
jersey.
he's 3rd. Yeah, exactly.
He's a Hall of
Now you're
Famer.
thinking.
He's a Hall of Famer.
As a running back and a thick running back,
You were a solid 2.
I had to have double numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when Melvin Ingram wore 6?
Can I just tell you, that 6 looked like a Tic Tac on his jersey. Say, what number is that? 6.
I don't like single digit running backs.
I had to put I don't like single digit defensive linemen.
I miss the days of receivers being in the 80s. Nobody does it anymore, I think, except for like CD Lamb. Everybody's a teens or a single digit receiver.
You couldn't only because who remember Randy wanted to wear 18. They wouldn't let him do it.
Ridiculous.
And
until he got to Oakland, they let him do it.
Yeah, they changed the rule.
Yeah.
And then they start changing the rules for everybody. So now you got a D lineman with a single digit just looks ridiculous. Just stop it. Like, come on, dude. That six was rolled up and scrunched underneath his pads. You couldn't tell what number it was.
Do you think he's going to unblock me on Twitter?
Who? Who?
Odell.
Oh, he blocked you?
Yeah.
What'd you
See,
do?
look, watch this.
What'd you do to him?
I'm going to click on the second one.
What'd you do to him?
Did Tobin stuff?
I didn't do Tobin stuff. I think I said it must have had. Look, I only have gotten blocked by people who have slandered the Heat. He must have said something. I don't remember what, but I responded with the stupid Seinfeld gif where I go, "The jerk store called. They're running out of you."
Ooh, yeah.
And he blocked me.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" I never because I just.
So are you telling me?
I mean, you call
that
someone a
we
jerk.
might not be able to have a conversation because you're blocked?
I don't think he knows who he's blocked. He's probably blocked a lot of people.
Yeah,
That's the attitude that get us no conversation with OBJ.
You called him a jerk, man. Like if someone called you a jerk, you'd probably be a little upset.
No. You know what he would say? You know what El Dumbo would say?
What?
I live rent free in your head. You thinking about me, and I don't
wanna
even know
live
who you
rent-free in his
are.
head. I don't want to live rent free in his head. We got some more social media reactions from your Miami Dolphins in regards to the Odell signing. We'll take a break. Be back with more after this. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We're live on Radio Row. We got a big break in Dolphins news we'll get back to. Odell Beckham Jr. has signed with the Miami Dolphins.
We got more
But
pressing
we got
things right now.
boxing royalty here with us, man. The golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya, joining us here on the show. Oscar, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you guys, man. I appreciate it.
This is look, man, they were like putting up blockades and everything. Like they were wondering, is there going to be some drama between you and Canelo after the press conference? You feel like you made your point for this week, or is it possible that there still could be some more pressing issues with you and Canelo this week?
Yeah, most likely there will be. It's all good. It's all good. Look, I'm a promoter. And that's what I do. And just like I promoted, just like I sparked Tank Davis with Ryan Garcia, just like I sparked many fights. This is what a promoter does. But this one here is a little more personal because I promoted Canelo for 12 years, and he's just ungrateful. And it's I have to call him out on it because the crap that he's been talking about me on a personal level,
right?
It's not cool. I mean, just watch my documentary and just be quiet. It is what it is.
I did watch the documentary. It was very it was a lot. It was how hard was that process for you? Because you opened up everything on that.
It was liberating, man. Yeah, it was liberating. It wasn't hard at all. I had to get it out of my chest, and it's funny because the beef that started with me and Canelo was, I believe, the Mayweather fight with Canelo.
The first one?
Yeah.
No, the only one.
Yeah, the only one. So the powers to be, whatever, there's always powers to be in every sport or any, in music or whatever, So they decided, hey, make sure Oscar's in rehab. Okay. I mean, I didn't help myself either,
Right.
Right.
Sorry to laugh at
Yeah,
that.
no, it's true. It's the truth. So I checked myself into rehab the week of the big fight. I called Canelo, hey, sorry, I have to take care of my personal stuff. It's very important, because I'm going downhill. And that's what he's pissed off at,
that you weren't,
that I wasn't there for him. Like,
yeah,
you're the one that's fighting up in the ring. How am I going to be there for you? And I have to take care of my personal business.
right?
There was some report that you had sent him a cease and desist because he had said something about money that was money this year. What do you say to those claims?
I've paid, and that's exactly why. And I'm probably going to slap a lawsuit on him because he's messing with my reputation as a promoter. He's messing with my reputation with my company. I mean, imagine now fighters starting to believe that. Right. I have a squeaky clean reputation as a promoter in boxing. I pay every fighter. I build the biggest fights that we can. We build superstars. I mean, it's defamation to the fullest.
Right.
One of your fighters, you guys had an amazing week last week, obviously with Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
First of all, I just wanted, before we get into
that might
work
be
of this
the
week,
biggest.
What was your reaction to all this? Were you in on this because people were saying this was a monster troll, or were you legitimately like, this guy may be crazy? I'm not really sure what was going to show up. How did you take in all the Ryan?
No,
Garcia
I knew.
stuff?
He told me he was in a troll. He was going to do the biggest troll in sports history.
Look. It worked. It
Yeah.
worked because look, we like, he's got no chance.
Right.
There's like, why is he giving money away? And why is he doing? Yeah, why is he doing this? And then you find out he took his money, he bet on himself, and look, all you can do is tip your hat and say, "Well done," because a lot of people talk trash in the fight game, but you don't back it up like that, right? He backed it up. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, he backed it up.
But you was there ever a point where you didn't know that it was act? Like, did he have to reach out to you at all?
When I first got to New York, fight week on Monday, the week of the fight.
Would you just put your mic there?
Yeah,
a little bit
when I got to New York, fight week, the first thing that they tell me, you have to go to Ryan's room. You have to go to Ryan's room. My God, he's not fit to fight. He's got women everywhere. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I just got here. Let me enjoy this day.
Right.
And no, but I talked to him. He was cool. Everything was good. It's crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Listen,
I knew exactly what he was doing. Look, Devin Haney is a master boxer. Okay. Master. Beautiful footwork, patience, beautiful combinations. So Haney is used to fighting on his back foot.
Right.
waiting for you to make mistakes.
Kinda, yeah, right,
right? So now what does Ryan do? He pisses the hell out of him. Now he's fighting on his front foot, face first. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get you,
Right.
Ryan Garcia. Oh,
Right.
that was the mistake, and that was brilliant from Ryan Garcia. He got into his head.
You like as a boxer, you guys have to be so disciplined. But like that level of guys who are wild, like remember you versus Mayorga, like everybody, he was the crazy guy and all that type of stuff.
Right.
What is that balance of you having to be disciplined, but also maybe cut loose a little bit because you guys put so much into it?
No, there's so much that goes into your training physically, but mentally you have to stay strong. You have to just stay focused, and the best one to do it is Mayweather. He always took you out of your game plan. Even when he fought me, he brings a little chicken with a gold medal, and you're not gonna. I mean, it's hilarious. It's genius,
right.
if you think about it, right?
Right.
But he's taking you out of your game plan. I want to get him. I want to get him.
Right.
And that's when you make mistakes.
How do you feel Jaime's handled this week?
That's what. Yeah, I'm curious to know. Could any of this, what you and Canelo going through, affect what he's going to try to do in the ring?
Yeah.
Because he's got a very talented fighter he's fighting, and he's talking about you and not about Jaime.
Right. He's all furious of what I'm doing and what I'm saying.
You ain't fighting him.
I'm not fighting him. I mean, hey, I'm not fighting him, and so I strongly feel that. Look, yes, it is the mental warfare, and it is physical also, but. You take a look at Munguia. He's 27 years old. He's younger, yes. Doesn't have that much wear and tear like Canelo.
Right.
He has a new trainer in Freddie Roach. We've seen the progress of Munguia not getting hit as much anymore as he used to back in the day.
Right.
His punch output is like 60 to 80 punches around, whereas Canelo throws 10 to 15 punches around. So there's a lot of variables that come into play. I mean, it's not just the mental part of it, but I think physically Munguia can be and hopefully will be too much for him.
What that man right there, Freddie Roach, you've worked with him before. What does he do for a fighter as far as he's always known as an offensive guy, but that I feel like plays to Jaime's strength. So when you've worked with him, what are the things that Freddie does so well that bring you out in the ring?
Well, first of all, he'll get you in great shape. He'll have you throwing 100 punches around, okay? Which is great. Physically, you have to be ready for Canelo to take those big bombs. You have some breathing room with Canelo because he doesn't
punch as much.
He doesn't punch as much, so that's when you have to capitalize. But one thing about Freddie is that he's the most knowledgeable trainer in the game today. He'll tell you 3 or 4 little things that you have to switch up. Like the master plan is only like 3 to 4 little things. That's it. I'm not sure what they are, but I know that Freddie Roach and Jaime have the master plan to dethrone Canelo.
Since you've known Canelo for a long time, there is this thought that he can't be really hurt. I mean, like he's lost to boxers and things like that. But do you believe this guy is it possible to hurt Canelo and put him away in a fight?
Yeah, it depends. It depends because Canelo has a good chin. He does have a good chin. But you have a body. You have a body. If you can't knock him out in the chin, hey, chop him down to the body.
Right.
And Munguia has some wicked body shots of his own. So I think look, the fact that there's 2 Mexicans at this level, at the highest level, fighting each other, we're gonna see a war.
Right.
We're gonna see a war, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Before we get you out of here, Oscar, and buy this fight on Amazon Prime pay-per-view, Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia. Just getting back to the Ryan thing, obviously the news of this week, his test. What is your reaction to all that? Where do we stand with this thing?
Yeah, very surprised. Obviously, I'm standing behind him, but we have to see what the anti-doping is going to come back with, and and we have to wait for all the facts to come in. We don't know exactly. I can't really comment on it and state my facts. I have to get all the information. We have to see the facts and then take it from there. I mean, there's no room for cheating, obviously.
Right.
There's no room whatsoever. But I do have to get all the facts.
Appreciate it, Oscar. Thanks so much for the time. Buy this fight on pay-per-view coming up Saturday. The Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, join us. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. We have one. You can take the other one. Yeah.
Well, hello, Jennifer.
Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hi.
Hey,
We got our sign back.
we got our
Exciting.
sign back.
I'm proud of you guys.
Was Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep. Oscar De La Hoya got us our sign back, and they're like, oh.
I got to tell you, Dan Day,
And
he gets me every time.
He's charming.
He's charming.
That's why.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
charming.
He's
He gets me every time, and he tells his story, and you know
doesn't
what I
deflect
mean.
though. I mean, he does answer.
He
every
doesn't.
question.
He really
He's
he
direct.
really doesn't
It
deflect.
doesn't even take a time to like process his thoughts.
Right. Like it doesn't like
There's a
he said probably the biggest thing he ever did was the documentary.
It was really good, actually. It was really good.
What did he go to
very-
rehab for?
Everything.
Every dude. He like at that point in time, because keep in mind, he was bigger than Canelo at that time.
Oh yeah, he was
Because
like
he
a
was just
kid.
getting Golden Boy. He, it was like a big thing, and they told him to go to, rehab to take care of himself, which he did. Canelo held it against him because he lost to Floyd that week, and
That's not the only time it happened either. just
I
to
know,
be clear.
I know,
Just-
I know.
It's not the only time. It wasn't just the Floyd.
No,
and then there were
I-
times where he was really loose.
Again, this is what I mean about being charming and kind of taking a story, But look,
but he was great.
He
was entertaining, and I was happy to get the Ryan Garcia stuff in there too. So appreciate the crew over here, Steve and Arlene and the crew for setting that up.
Arlene, who
She's
now you want to
hilarious,
talk
by the
about?
way.
You want to talk? Huh?
She's hilarious, by the way.
You want to talk about fat shaming? She was skinny shaming. She was like, wait a minute, I weigh more than him.
She was.
She's
There
like,
was-
wait.
There was a featherweight who steps to the scale. Imagine Dan Day but skinnier.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. I'm like, if Dan Day cut weight, this is what this guy would look like.
Yes.
And she's like,
Yeah, she goes, I can't spoon with that.
I can't even picture Dan Day cutting weight.
Oh no, yeah. She's like, so I'm still caught up on this.
Hmm?
We sitting there, and it's like, it's a room full of people, right? A room, women, men, boxers, dude with cowboy hat and a belt, all kinds
Love
of
that
stuff,
guy.
right? Some guy just gets naked.
Yep.
He take his drawers off to try to make weight. And I'm like, how much do drawers weigh? Like, yeah.
It was,
but they do it all the time.
It
That's
was an
what-
unexpected flash for sure.
Yes.
But he made weight, so good for him.
I mean, he fist pumped because he took his drawers off.
If you're gonna get naked, you make weight.
Words to live by.
Let's get to headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know truck.
Can you believe this frog boy
No,
is
what
demanding an apology from you?
He's demanding
me?
an apology.
From you?
For why?
He said, Leroy called me a maniac when I said offer him $7 million. Apologize.
He's only paying $3 million.
I texted back to him. He's getting $3 million. He goes, oh yeah, in my hypothetical deal, it was $3 million up to $7 million. So nice try, buddy.
minus one for lying, Marcos.
While you say that, you can also tell him to come
Minus
on
one.
air and get his apology, quote unquote.
Yeah, you'll get your apology when you're here.
Yeah, we only give apologies to people that are at work.
All right. I'll give you some social media.
Wait a minute. He really said that?
Yeah.
Wait. So first of all, the whole argument, oh yeah, my hobby deal was $3 million. Who suggests a contract like that? That's not in
What are you,
management.
Chris Greer? You know the incentive system?
There's a kicker at 50
Hey,
receptions.
look, Marcos tried to finesse a finesser.
Dade South says, "Tell Marcus to go hug Drake. He needs it." Kendrick Lamar had another one he dropped.
Oh,
apparently?
really?
I don't know. I haven't heard it. Listen. You're not gonna
It's
find.
too much
If there's
to
country
keep
music beef,
up
come to
with.
me.
Right. Or if there's a heavy metal rap
Yeah.
beef.
Yeah, J Fig, do Mudvayne and Megadeth before they were together? Did they ever beef?
I don't think so.
They
I'll
don't
do
have
some
beef. They
research.
only have beef like that in rap. right? Well,
yeah,
no,
it is true. Like hard rock band. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
time when, like the Killers and the Bravery were kind of going at it, but that got old. I like rock bands don't really get after each other too much.
Neither
They
do
don't have the time of
country,
day for that.
no. It's just pop a little bit
The
because
only
they
country
date
beef-
each other and then they break up
Right.
and write records about each other and then they date the new guy and then they have a problem with it. But that's
The only country beef I can remember was a divorce between Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton.
That
'cause,
was true.
You know, there was some infidelity both ways on that, and then he ended up with Gwen Stefani.
Wow.
Yeah. And Bad Bunny, he took it at Devin Booker for a little bit too.
Oh,
that's
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because of
Take that,
Kendall.
Devin Booker. Love Bad Bunny.
Tyreek Hill has tweeted out, "It's about to get ugly in Miami."
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Hey,
What is
listen,
the Goosey scale right here?
listen. They just threw the worm in front of the big mouth bass over here,
I'm so excited.
right?
I'm so
Like
excited.
just if you could just send out a tweet, he's like, "Ooh, Goosey galore, Goosey galore."
But did he actually get Goosey's this time?
No, I can't say that I did.
No.
I can't say that I did.
Dude,
I mean, like it's been. I'm pretty goosed up as it is right now, J-Fig. We're in a boxing event. You know, Canelo is.
You're thriving right now.
You want to talk about a guy rolling deep?
hey,
Canelo,
let me tell you something.
Canelo's got what,
It-
30 people?
It literally looked like the president of the United States walked into the building.
Why do they need that much of an entourage? I've always wondered.
The dude
It's a
outside.
lot.
I was coming in with my coffee. He said, "What team are you with?" I'm like, "What?"
I mean,
Like,
I like
no
to
team.
roll with an entourage, but that's too much.
No.
Like, what is
Floyd,
that
Floyd
30th
rolls like that too.
What's that 30th guy doing other than collecting?
No,
Cash.
see those. And here's the thing, Dan. I'm telling you right now. The 30th guy is the guy that's starting the melee. It ain't the three guys around him.
Oh yeah,
It's the
It's
last guy who
it's
trying
like it's Jay-Z right there. Loud, you know the type. Loud as a motorbike,
Someone chirping.
to yeah
Someone
Wouldn't
chirping.
crush
somebody chirping because they got on the sweatsuit.
grape in a fruit fight.
Oh,
I don't.
man.
Here's what I can't understand. Listen to this. MGM is one of the biggest casinos here, right? There's 700 different entrances, 700 different exits. There's upstairs, downstairs, casino, ballroom, A, B, C, D, E, a garden. We had to shut down and cover up so Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya wouldn't cross paths.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we sitting here with Oscar, and Canelo's crew goes
It
right
was.
behind
It
him.
did it. We were like literally like they were right
You
there.
could not plan
It was like Voltron. It was like
right.
news team assemble. Like they couldn't be closer to each
Right.
other. Just a door separating them.
Right.
And it was fun. Jalen Ramsey, he says, "You remember what happened last time, right? Oh, of course he's
They
referring
won a
to
championship.
won a
Super Bowl.
championship.
He would have
together.
won the MVP if he wouldn't have got hurt.
He also included two
Odell would
pictures
have won
with
the
that
MVP if he
screen.
wouldn't have got hurt.
Brutal.
Do we all remember that? Or do
Caught
we
that
not?
touchdown.
By the way, Jennifer, would you like to know what our menu was last night?
It's
It's
really random, but of course, let's go.
I know.
We had
we'll wait.
Leroy's favorite is the calamari. I'm convinced.
Dude, they have the calamari with the peppers, the hot peppers on the top. Oh, and then
No
they have
picture?
these meatballs. Huh?
I demand pictures next time, please.
They have these chorizo meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
They put the sauce in there. Dude, you try to make a meatball sub out of the bread. It's so good. Right? Then I had a little surf and turf. Tobin had a little T-bone.
And we had a Peaky Blinder as a bartender.
Oh, a Peaky Blinder.
This
Oh,
dude
yeah.
had like the rolled up sleeve. Like, look, he either in today's day he looks like he played for Duke because he was like 6'5", 6'6".
Right.
But he had like, you know, at this place Herbs and Rye, it's very old school, kind of looks like a speakeasy.
Okay.
And he had like the vest, the rolled up sleeves. All he needed was the handlebar mustache. He would have been full Peaky Blinder.
He had the tats going down the arm.
Yep.
Yep.
He had it all going.
So every time he walked by Tobin, you know what Tobin yelled?
I
order
Off the Peaky
This
Blinders.
is why I asked, is there an accent?
Nah. He sounded.
We
he just
didn't
sounded.
really talk to him.
He sounded like Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, he looked like Ted. I thought he was hey, look at that. And we had a professional bartender, right? This dude was shaking that cocktail like they gave him
I'm
like
convinced
guidelines.
I'm convinced this guy's more coordinated than Tyler Hero.
Oh,
because he could stir and shake
he
at the
was
same
stirring
time.
and shaking.
I'm like, that guy could shake.
You
just
deserve
through
it,
holiday.
Joe.
Right? It was crazy. All while sitting there eating food. Like we really did like it was crazy. But
it was a good time though.
Good food. I've never had a morsel of bad food there. Meat happy hour.
Delicious.
Meat happy hour. You can get I got an 8-ounce filet and 8-ounce tail for $75. If you get the 8-ounce if we would have got the 8-ounce filet by itself, it would have been like $35.
Yeah, it's a really great place, man. It's
Yeah.
always a must stop.
But it's all the other stuff.
It is.
Listen.
It is a shame though. You got your ass kicked by a seatbelt afterwards.
Yeah, how does Leroy?
I did not,
Really?
Dude.
No, I didn't.
You look.
Listen. So, and he was, so the guy. I don't know what was wrong with the guy, right? But he played it on the phone, and it sounded like the car said it. It was like. He said, please.
If something is a robot, like
right.
if a person says it, it's a suggestion. If he has a
He
machine
goes,
say it, it feels like
please,
it's
for
required.
your own protection, could you please buckle your seatbelt? That's what I don't know where it came from. So I'm like, all right, I got you. Usually in our cars, it goes ding, ding, ding.
That's
but
what
it don't
threw
even
you
go
off.
for
It
the
was the
back seat,
technology.
right? So I reach over, right? And I go, I'm pulling, right? And Toby goes, hey, man, you got to let it go all the way back.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
You just let it go.
Yes, you do.
That technology
You
was
literally go-
implemented in like '92, Leroy.
So wait, so I'm pulling on it. So now he's reaching over me. I'm like, get away. So fine. So like I kept doing the
Should've
slow
let him
thing
help you.
till it ended up going all the way back anyway, right?
Mhm.
So then I pull it down, and he goes, I can't find the thing. He goes, let me help you. He puts his hand over the thing I can't see.
No, I didn't put my hand over
You
the thing.
did.
I was trying to buckle your seatbelt like a child. I was trying to guide
You
it.
put your fat hand in the way.
You were
Leave it
losing
up to
a fight
you
to a
guys.
seatbelt for like 4 minutes. You were like, ah!
So
What did you want me to do?
So-
I felt bad for you. I was trying to help.
no, you weren't. You
He
were-
was trying to be a
laughing.
good friend,
was-
okay?
no,
Well, it was very funny.
he couldn't stop laughing.
Big
So
man.
I'm just sitting there like he's mocking me and laughing at me. He goes, hey, that seatbelt is kicking your ass. Like it's like what are you
First
doing?
the technology and
You
now
haven't coordinated
seatbelts.
before.
See, when was the last time I buckled up seatbelt?
I don't know, dude.
My
But
my front
It
seat.
should
I-
be every
Again.
day.
RVA Richie says the old have trouble buckling up.
Really? Really? I'd rather be called old than elderly.
Elderly.
It's the worst.
Oh,
Same.
Like
thing,
what age
same
is
thing.
elderly? That's way older than old, right?
I would
It's
still
not
say
like
those elderly.
I'm like, but no, so that's
70,
you make
maybe.
fun of me. Like he's sitting there and said, I'm helping you. I'm trying to help you, dummy. I'm trying to help you. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're he couldn't stop laughing. The whole car was shaking. He was laughing so hard.
It's hilarious.
Not to mention the guy never said one word to us because he didn't speak no English.
Nope, he didn't. No, actually, he did at one point. He just, J-Fig, I swear to God, I don't know if you heard this because you were like in the midst of your fight, but he just goes, bueno. I was like, he's not bueno. He's so not bueno.
So see,
You good?
so how can that be helping me? Right? Like
He bring it up from Google Translate to go. Excuse me, sir, boy. You look like you were doing CrossFit.
Continue. A little more, you would have been Larry.
I mean, I literally almost ripped the door off from the inside because
I had one word the entire time.
Bueno.
I'm like,
All right, we'll take a break. Miami Dolphins have signed Odell Beckham. Thank you to Premier Boxing Champions for flying us out here. This has been a really fun week on Radio Row. Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. Buy it tomorrow, live on PBC, pay-per-view on Amazon Prime. 8 o'clock, by the way, Leonard Ellerby pointed this out. It is an early start time on the East Coast tomorrow for a pay-per-view. 8 o'clock is your
Oh,
start
it's
time.
for the main card?
Yeah.
Usually starts at 9.
Yeah. So you got that going. We'll take a break. Back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here. We're live from Radio Row in Las Vegas. Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. Looks like the official weigh-ins are all set. The word was, we were back here, obviously, last chance, but the word was that both Canelo and Jaime Munguia made weight. And so looks like the fight is on for tomorrow. You guys can now bet your action and get in on it. I got to start looking. I'm looking at like underdogs have been pretty money lately, you know, because the odds are so fat in boxing, you know. But I can't do it. I can't go with Jaime Munguia. I can't. I like him, but I just can't think. I can't. I think he can only win by knockout, and I don't think he's knocking out Oscar De La Hoya.
De La Hoya told us that he throws a lot of punches, so
he does, dude. But like, there's something. He throws a lot of punches against guys who aren't as offensive as Canelo, and I'm just worried about him. I'm worried about him in those later rounds, Dan. Like, I think he'd be okay.
Yeah.
I think he'll be game. Because a lot of times Canelo can start slow. Last fight he did against Charlo. Charlo was pretty gun-shy. But I think I'm going to, like, the only place I think I'm going to make money on this is, like, Canelo late-round stoppage. I got to look at the rounds, but I'm looking, like, at maybe like a 9 through 12. I feel like I can get that, like, at 3-1 or something like that.
Any chili peppers going on?
I'm thinking about the chili peppers, J-Fig. I am thinking about the chili peppers and trying to figure that out. Leroy, he just left Radio Row. I don't know.
What?
Well, it was. We were like,
in Vegas.
We were a little caught. I was like, Dan texted. He's like 2 minutes. I was like, oh, that felt like unless we were hobnobbing. I didn't realize it, but that felt like a quick break. So he's perusing around somewhere. He's on a mission now. I see him. He's back in the Radio Row den, but looks like
there more coffee in his hand?
Yeah, he's going back for some coffee, I think, or some tea. I don't know. Anyway, if you guys are just tuning in, Miami Dolphins have signed Odell Beckham Jr. to a 1-year, $3 million deal. A couple of deets coming out from Barry Jackson on the Odell deal as far as it's concerned. The Dolphins, apparently, Mike McDaniel spent time on the phone with Odell from the start before his visit. They cultivated a relationship, made him feel wanted per Odell associate. Another example of how Mike's people skills paid dividends. Two sources said the Dolphins did not raise from their offer of a $3 million base, but agreed to pay him more than $5 million in incentives if he reaches it. That's where the compromise was reached. There were other suitors, but Odell liked Miami and Mike McDaniel.
I can see it.
And Odell, to Barry's point, his 16.1 yards per reception, that was top 10 in the NFL last year, ranked 8th in the league.
I would say this.
And now he says, okay, now to the Heat media post-mortem locker room clean-out day.
I would say
that's a sad day.
I would say this, is that you're getting like a big three vibe with this organization, and that a lot of guys are willing to come here because of the situation and will overlook money.
Yep.
Right? You think about, there's certain teams that you go play for, you're only going to play there because they pay you the most money. There's other franchises that the situation, your opportunity, kind of the way New England was when they were winning all those championships, and they would get the disgruntled superstar for a 1-year contract, right? The Dolphins are starting to do a lot of things like that. We're getting guys to come in, give them an incentive-laden contract, and they're able to put some substantial talent around their main guys, which was hard. Think about it. There's a lot of guys like leaving Miami for extra money in years, for less money in years past, because of the situation, because of the organization, because of how things were done. And now you're starting to see that turnaround, and it just so happens to happen exactly when Mike McDaniel gets here and starts talking to these players and start telling them, you know, this is how we're going to do things. I think it's awesome.
I think the other thing too is, you think about last year, and man, Waddle and Tyreek were banged up by the end of that year. Waddle dealt with stuff all year. Man, it's nice if they do have to miss a game. It does feel like, all right, this is capable. You don't have to go and hope that, you know,
right,
some young guy, or you're going to have to rely on Braxton Berrios to put up monster numbers. And not hating on Braxton. I like what Braxton does in the return game, and he came up with some balls catches last year, like
Right.
really, really good. But like it just
No,
Odell is Odell. Like it just is what it is.
Here's the other thing, and I think one of the most important moves, and I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna be saying 5 or 6 months from now, right? Regardless of who they add, the biggest position that they will add this offseason is tight end, and the production that comes from that position.
Looking at Odell highlights from last year. Goosies.
What are you doing? What is this guy doing?
Top 5 plays of Odell Beckham.
You're really
On the Ravens.
You want me to tell you why you can't? You want me to tell you why you can't watch that?
Why?
Because you're feeding into Marcos. Because Marcos gonna say, "Look at that throw."
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right.
But Tua can get the ball downfield. I don't understand why this is.
Because listen, it's amazing.
By the way, I think
here's what I want people to understand. Here's what's amazing about Tua.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He led the league in completion or percentage.
There's
and throws down the field.
There's Cater Code.
But for some reason he can't throw. Right? For some reason he can't throw a deep ball. But he leads the league in that area. So forget how it looks.
Man, can I just tell you something?
What?
Lamar Jackson had one more time than Tua did last year.
And wait, run that back. Let me explain something to you.
We're watching Thursday Night Football, Ravens.
Is this a deep ball? No. You see what they say about Tua?
Yep. Yeah, you had to go back for it.
Right. So stop.
I've never seen anybody get criticized for that more, where receivers go and make good plays and they're like, oh,
well, when your receiver can run 22 miles an hour,
yeah,
right, and you still throw it 55 yards in the air, yeah.
You know what else I think when I watch this film?
What?
I can't
look at how many underthrown balls.
No, I was thinking that they can't believe they wanted this guy to be a wide receiver, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
so stupid.
Well, it was only one guy,
Bill Polian.
Right.
That was a famous executive, though, dude. That guy built a Super Bowl team.
Nothing says I'm old like that, right?
I'll tell you, he's got a little giddy up still in that horse.
Well,
unless he's burning their Eli Apple. I don't know who he's beating. You know that guy?
No, Eli Apple was with the Dolphins.
No. But who is this guy? 28 on the. Do you remember that on the Browns?
No, I think Eli Apple was.
No, I know what Eli Apple. Eli Apple's 33. I'm asking last year. Do you remember on the Browns?
No, I don't. But they had some secondary woes too.
Did they? Well, he certainly. Oh, he threw up the cheetah peace sign in that one. I'm excited, man. It's fun. You can't say this isn't fun. We're having fun, baby.
I'm not. I told you. I love when the organization does right by their players, and then in return, the players do right by the organization. Mm-hmm. It seems like Stephen Ross, Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer have invested all the resources they have into making this team good, right? And before you jackasses start commenting, let me say this. You can make right decisions that don't work out, right? You can do all the right things and it doesn't work out, but you have to start somewhere. And I like that this organization is starting to make all the moves you guys been begging for the last 20 years and thought that those moves would help you win. They're doing it a little better. They're being careful with their decisions, but then they're still using all their resources to make this team and this organization better. And you have to applaud that.
Smokey says, did the Bills get any better? Well,
they got worse.
And there's news that just came by of who they just signed.
Who?
Chase Claypool. That's how you replace Stephon Diggs?
Huh?
Chase Poo-Poo. Wow. All right. Hope he's out there a bunch, guys. Hope he's out there a bunch.
He's got all the physical aspects.
What, they got him to play tight end?
I don't know. They just said sign him. I don't think so.
Wait. I'm willing to make a wager right now.
Oh, hey.
He won't be on the opening day roster.
Oh,
really?
Really?
Dude.
But he's got the size.
The Dolphins, wait a minute. There were times when the Dolphins needed a receiver and made him inactive.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
That's true.
Man.
He looks the part, though.
No, he reminds you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
You know who he reminds me of?
Hmm?
David Boston.
Oh.
David Boston looked the part too. But every time he used that body, something tore.
We got to get to this, man. We haven't talked about this yet, but I need Leroy's about to take a victory lap like none other. Ugh.
Why?
So UD was on ESPN yesterday.
Yeah, my guy.
Weird.
My guy.
This is going to be really like I the amount of peacocking Leroy's going to do after these quotes.
Because I was honest.
Ugh.
Because I was honest. Huh? Because I was honest, and everybody got on me.
UD.
Well, let's hear it. I'm listening. I'm all ears.
I don't want to read this quote. I want to be back
Read
at the
it.
part
No,
where
He's doing his pocket down. Read it.
No.
It's like a
You read
band-aid.
it.
Just rip it off.
I do
Let's
love
go.
him,
Rip
but
it.
I don't want you to
Rip
take a
it.
victory lap because you lost to a seatbelt last night.
That doesn't change anything. Rip
Y'all-
it.
Wait, y'all don't even understand. Like, I've never seen Tobin laugh so long. And I
Bueno?
bet you the Uber driver thought I was going to rip his door off. He thought I was going to rip the door off of a Sorrento.
So
right?
Udonis Haslam, he was on ESPN's NBA Today, and he was asked by Kendrick Perkins about Tyler Hero.
And that's funny. Them two doing the interview together.
That is funny.
Kendrick Perkins.
I love. Well, I will say this though: if UD, who
Kendrick Perkins respects the hell out of UD.
you better.
He'll tell you in a heartbeat.
And I'm glad that UD's everywhere, which you think he should be.
Without the gray, I might add.
Well,
He was this gray. He was this gray on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we see him on TV in this dark. Come on.
Let
he
him
was
be.
asked by Kendrick Perkins about Tyler Hero. Again, this was the Miami Herald, but he was on NBA Today. Udonis Haslam said, quote, Tyler will continue to get better every day. For Tyler, his role, he's great as a sixth man. When he won Sixth Man of the Year, that's a great role for Tyler Hero. Moving into the future, today's NBA future, you could still be a sixth man. You could still get all your money, still get the all-star in today's NBA. And you could still do that in today's NBA. Tyler's role for us and the best role for him is probably the sixth man. That's not taking anything away of what Tyler does as a basketball player. But for our chemistry, we are better when we get Duncan Robinson in the starting lineup, making plays, being that trigger for us, spraying and creating for other guys. Tyler can come off in the second group, doesn't have to worry about getting guys involved. He can just play basketball and score and be who he is. I heard that quote before.
You've heard that before.
I've heard something like that.
You've heard that before.
I've heard that before.
On a number of occasions.
think I did.
Crazy. So now you believe it? Now you believe it?
If UD, I'm surprised UD said it.
Dude, the film speaks for itself.
But I will say this: I know Udonis Haslam has probably said this stuff to Tyler too. You know, like
I'm just saying. Look. I'm just saying. Look at the production of Tyler Hero. When was he at his best? When he's at his best,
by far
the
his best
team
season.
is at his best.
That was by far his best season. And honestly,
Right.
I thought, to be
he
honest with you,
played the same amount of minutes, which I kept arguing. You're playing more minutes than everybody. Who cares if you play the first 5 minutes of the game?
I do think also I thought that he should have been an All-Star that year. I thought that he were the one seed that deserved more than one
Maybe he
All-Star.
thought but guess what? You know who he ain't got to deal with on that second unit? Pineapples.
Drew Holiday.
Right.
You can just go cook.
Right.
Here's another one.
Again?
You know, I'm not
Okay.
gonna read another quote from him.
No, go ahead. This is all. Look, see, you guys mock me. You make fun of me. You call me a hater. You just don't like this guy.
Because I don't like the fact that
because
You
I
forgot Rain Cloud also.
I don't want.
Oh yeah, let's not forget that one, Jake. Man.
I don't
We
like
cannot
that.
forget that
I
one.
don't like that. Look, I love Udonis Haslam being honest. I love that about UD, but I don't like UD echoing the things of Heat Reddit and Twitter.
No.
So everybody's gonna be taking victory laps, and you, and
Not Heat Reddit.
No.
Not
I
Heat.
understand.
No.
I'm giving you your props. I'm giving you your
okay.
flowers. I'm giving you your
I've been
flowers.
saying this for a while.
I don't want to read this next one.
I need you to read it because you cannot leave us on a cliffhanger.
Wait. Let me just say this, right?
Yep.
You know he's right. You know I'm right. You just don't want to admit it. And when I said it back then, you knew I was right.
I don't think that you're wrong. I just thought the thing that he has to do is like they weren't going to do it for him. They felt. I think in some degree the Heat have kind of
folded.
Coddled,
They coddled
they
him.
coddled him. They coddled
They
him.
wanted to appease him, okay? Instead of thinking about what's best for the Miami Heat.
Here's what he also said. I think we need another scorer. maybe a veteran another veteran guy, a big fellow who can go down there and help Bam. I think Bam can play 4, power forward, move around a little bit. If we get a center, maybe in the draft or through free agency, then we can move Bam to the 4.
Hold on.
That does not sound familiar at all.
Wait. What have I always said about Bam? Go. I'll wait.
He'll be more comfortable as a 4. He'll be better off. He can be more effective as a 4.
Who would he be like? What player would he be like?
You say Pascal Siakam, but I think they got differences.
They do.
But
I'm saying as far as the length, the way he looks, being able to play on the perimeter a little bit, being able to do a whole lot of different things.
He can guard all 5 positions.
Right.
He would be even more of a matchup at the 4 position where we can post him up and do different things. Go for a center, possibly another scoring guard. That is Udonis Haslam on NBA Today. Enough. You know what, Udonis? Get out of here.
Now you're shooing Udonis. You're going to shoot UD.
Enough of you two.
So next time I see
Enough
him,
of you two.
next time I see
Enough
him,
of you two.
Next time I see him, I'm going to say you called him a clown.
I didn't say he was a clown. I just said enough of you two.
Oh,
What are you having heat meetings?
Is it wrong?
I didn't like the fact that nobody can help Bam with size. It's ridiculous.
Okay. And
he had
what,
to go in there. He's got to guard Porzingis. He's got to guard Tatum.
I've been saying this for 2 years.
I know, but
Bam is a.
But it sounds
Bam
like a
is
detriment
going to be
to
a 4.
But hold on. The thing that I don't like about it though, okay, is it makes it sound like Bam can't guard the best centers in the league.
That's
and he can.
no. If you want to get most out of what Bam can do on a basketball court, have him standing in the paint does not do it. He needs to be a 4 that can at times be in the paint and back people down and post them up.
I don't think that will. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, UD.
I mean, Eric Spoelstra says he doesn't do the whole 1 through 5, so there you go.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, he says that. That's cool. But
there we go. There we go.
This is a guy who is basically on, basically in meetings, and he practiced all year with the Heat. The guy's got feelings on how things are said in the organization. And by the way, has said these things probably to Spo. Like Eric Spoelstra and Udonis Haslam, those guys aren't holding opinions from each other.
Again,
and then
so it's like I'm talking. It's like I just had a meeting with Spo. It's good.
I don't know. You didn't have a meeting with Spo. No, you didn't have a meeting with Spo.
If my message got to Spo,
no, I don't know.
It doesn't matter who delivered. It's like we had the conversation.
No, I don't like that.
Right. There we go. I'm just saying. You know what? I'm gonna coach you up on basketball.
No. I don't need coached up on basketball.
Yeah, you do.
Get out of here. We can take a break. We got to get some cat talk. We didn't get to cat talk because we had Oscar De La Hoya at the top of last hour. We'll get to a little cat talk. Final hour of the show coming up after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We're live from Las Vegas, Radio Row. Thank you to Premier Boxing Champions for having us out here today for Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, flying us out here and put us up at the New York Hotel and Casino. We have been having a blast here today.
Yes, we have.
This has been an action-packed show today. We saw a live weigh-in. We saw a boxer's junk. We saw Oscar De La Hoya. He sat down with us. You guys can go back and watch that on the YouTube
Somebody
page.
look up the average weight of draws. I don't understand why you got to get naked.
We learned today the Dolphins have signed Odell Beckham Jr. We learned that apparently Leroy and Udez Haslam have been having secret Heat meetings, and he's just parroting everything Leroy's been saying. No, you're not using my thing on. No. What? Okay, so just because he also happens to think that Tyler's best suit is a 6-man, and Bam should have a center and some help at size next to him, and Bam should be at the 4. I don't like you saying that. That's samesies.
Samesies. That is. Those are my exact words when UD was still playing.
Sergey Bob 5 Overovsky. He says, did Tobin walk around with a churro? Dude, let me tell you something. The spread, they don't have one here today, which is a little disappointing. The spread they had here yesterday, they had tacos, and they had you got a chicken, steak, barbacoa, whatever you wanted. And then I looked to my left, all types of flavors of churros.
What?
Yep.
You know, I love me some tacos.
I didn't partake.
You didn't eat no churros?
I had some tacos. No, I had a couple tacos. Listen,
take one for the road. Take one for the road.
Let me tell you something about old Tobes. I don't pass up a taco. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Let's get
By the way, you do have something on Leroy.
Hmm?
You do have something on Leroy.
What's that?
You can just tell UD that he used to make fun of him all the time.
Yeah, but they've done that before together. Really, if I had to make fun of them, I'd be like, "Hey, UD, I know that you're getting up there as well, but have you ever lost a fight to a seatbelt?"
That's a new one.
And I'll say, "Hey, have you ever lost a? Have you ever not been able to save one of your kids running up a little hill?"
He's already made fun of me for that.
What was more embarrassing?
That was really embarrassing.
You did it.
No, you know what's really embarrassing? The seatbelt. Okay.
No. Only one person saw that, and the other guy didn't speak English, so he don't count.
The Florida Panthers. I get some cat talk here brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
All right, the Cats, we get to sit back and relax, man. There is a Game 7, Bruins and Leafs. They got to finish that puppy off after Toronto gets the win. I got to tell you something right now. Oh, my God, that is him.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey, Day. There's a guy here who looks exactly like Claw.
Like
from
Claw?
Black Panther. From Black Panther.
The guy who stole the vibranium.
Oh.
Remember him? So the Cats get to sit back and wait. I got to tell you, man, this Boston Bruins team, they're going to blow 2 back-to-back years, 3-1 leads.
Somebody, wait, you know what Vlad would say? Them streets need a body. Somebody got to get fired.
So we do know Game 1 for the Cats is going to be Sunday. We don't know what
Monday.
time.
I think it's Monday.
Is it Monday? I thought they said Sunday, Dan.
I'm going to say that I've checked
I
it 3
swear
times. It says Monday to be determined, May 6th.
I apologize then. I apologize.
I just don't want people getting all hyped up and having a Sunday fun day and then all dressed up for no.
No, look, Stanley Cup play.
Yeah, because I got an email from the Panthers last night. It said
Stanley Cup playoff second round will begin, but it might not be their conference. It might not be their game.
Okay, he's right. No, the Panthers second round starts.
Carolina.
That's what happens when I only read the headline email. Second round, Carolina Hurricanes, Rangers, Sunday in New York. Start time not up yet. This NHL is slacking. And Dan Day is correct. The Florida Panthers will host either the Bruins or the Maple Leafs Monday in Sunrise.
Because they play Game 7 on Friday.
You know what? I'm glad then, because that means we'll be back from Vegas. And then Monday, Cat Fever. Cat Fever.
Sweet. We got that, and the Marlins are on that win streak too, so feeling good.
They are rolling. Hey, listen, the Marlins are rolling.
Are they gonna bring in another team that's 15 games under 500?
They get the Oakland A's. Let's go.
The Oakland A's. So we got some slump buster time. Time.
there's nothing worse than a slump buster looking at another team as a slump buster, and they're looking at you the same way.
Well, that's probably what the Rockies thought. The Rockies walked in here with 7 wins. They're like, whoo, time to get to double digits. And instead, the Rabbits got the gun, right?
I mean, remember the Rockies were up 5-0 in the bottom of the ninth.
Rabbits got the gun.
Yeah. Was that Pulp Fiction?
I don't know.
Ain't no fun when the Rabbits got the gun?
I don't know. That's not a line I remember from Pulp Fiction.
Say what again, mother bleeper? The one you always remember? All right. So, yes, they do take on the Oakland A's. They 6:40 today. The Marlins and A's will get it going. So you got that to look out for. And then Eric Spoelstra is having they have started to Heat exit interviews. And Eric Spoelstra was asked from Barry Jackson, an ongoing question, why Heat players miss so many games due to injury. Quote, we will do everything we can as an organization to find solutions in that department.
Wait, what type of question is why did you have so many players miss a game due to injury? The answer is injuries.
But it's an odd number. It's
but why would you ask? I'd just say injuries.
And this is a frequent thing. This has happened the last few years.
You think it's like training stuff? Like, what do you do there?
Hope for the best.
Maybe they're looking at the players because I know organizations will look at players, and it don't matter why you're missing games. You're just missing games, and they need participation. That's a fact.
He says our goal is not to fight for the play in here. We know the deal here. Yep. I'm sure he's sick of that for sure. And let's see. He also says we are not a load management team.
Somebody ought to pass that message on. Everybody didn't get that memo.
Interesting.
You know what quote I hate more than anything? If it was a playoff game, I'd play. I hate that.
Yeah, for sure.
It just doesn't. It's a bad look. Right?
He says from Brady Hawk's Twitter, to say that we did not philosophically take the regular season seriously is totally off base.
Well, that's what you said, Tobin.
Tough.
Don't worry. We'll get it going for the playoffs because that's what we did last year.
Jimmy told me it was that time.
Again.
He did say with Jimmy Butler, he says, we'll be going into our 6th year together. We can't wait for training camp. So suppose
that's what you're always going to say.
Well, he's not rats off a ship on Jimmy, you know?
Not okay. What do they say about a man with a husband? And there's options.
Oh.
When it's the same thing with basketball team, right? If the right options come up and you think you can make your team substantially better, all bets are off, especially with Pat Riley.
Very curious. I don't know when
listen,
I don't know when Pat's going to speak. I would imagine it might be this weekend. It might be next week, but
all you need to know is this about Pat Riley. The most beloved player in that organization. He didn't waver 1 second. And so I look at it as this. If he gets into that mode of just being fed up with where this team is, and he thinks he can make a move to make the team substantially better, all I know is he ain't going to be afraid to make the move. And I'm looking at it right now. There's one guy, and I would venture in to say 3 guys that are absolutely untouchable.
Oh, who are they?
Jaime, Jovic, and Bam. I would kind of lean to throw Duncan in there because y'all ain't had no shooting, and I ain't getting rid of shooting to go hope to get better shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Duncan, that was one of the most unfortunate things of this year. Like him getting hurt the way that he did, the way he was playing, really, really sucked.
But you don't think Pat Riley would sell? You don't think Pat Riley would sell Jaime? And you don't think Pat Riley would sell Jaime and Jovic? Jovic for the right deal?
Here's why. Come on. Here's why, though. Look at where the league is going as far as length and as far as one of those dogs on the basketball court that do what Jaime does. It's a starting point. it would be hard to replace that. It's hard to replace that energy, right? He is the only guy on this team that plays with that energy all the time.
I think one of the things too is if you were like, it is hard to find that front court pair for Bam. I do feel like Nico is only 20. He's going to get better. Spo, I just read a quote from him saying, like, if you told me last year he was going to be our starting power forward by next year, I would have thought that was too soon. But he was great. So Jaime, if Jimmy's staying with Jaime, they're a little bit like, I don't know where Jaime can flourish here a little bit. So if you were to tell me that there were the right packages there, I could see that happening. But it's got to be for some.
I would say Jaime is a bargain Jimmy at about a 20th of the price.
20th of the price, yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, these are decisions you have to make. I'm not saying they will, right? But if you look at where the league is, let's start. Look at Denver. The smallest guy is 6'5", right?
Yep.
Okay, you need length. Jovic is length. He's getting better defensively. He can make the three. He can handle the ball. That is where the NBA is now. You don't trade that. You can't find another one of those.
And the shooting
That's
was
what I'm
good.
saying. But what works in Denver is Jokic.
Yeah.
That's what makes it work.
And so they build around Jokic.
Yeah,
and we build around Bam.
Here's the thing, though. Who is he going to spend this Olympics with the entire time, you know?
Jovic
is going to be with Joker. He's going to be with all those primo guys. So I think that's he's to me still intriguing, and the age also is a factor of that. Like we've seen the growth that he's had in his 20th year. He's going to turn 21 in June.
Think about this. Bam is 27, 26.
He's going to be 27 in July.
He's going to be 27 in July. I got 5 years of Bam. Okay? You got two players who can, for a fact, can make those 5 years. Right? So start there.
We'll take a quick break here. Again, thanks to Premier Boxing for flying us out here, putting us up at New York Hotel and Casino for Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia, which is live on pay-per-view, Amazon Prime, a PBC pay-per-view. That goes down tomorrow, the weigh-ins. They have officially made weight, by the way. So they both came in under 168, not on 168. So that was interesting. And then they'll have their ceremonial weigh-in, I believe, today at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Can I just tell you, there were so many people around Canelo.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like a mob.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
We'll take a break. Back with more for this.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you live from Radio Row in Las Vegas for Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. Coming up, we have the co-main eventer, Mario Barrios. He is the WBC interim welterweight champion. Very fun fighter to watch. If you've not watched Mario Barrios, I've interviewed him a couple times, Leroy. Action fighter, brings it. Lost to Gervonta Davis, which no shame in that. Gervonta's great. He moved up in weight and has had some success in his last couple of fights, but he is not boring. Also has one of the coolest walkouts because he's like the Aztec warrior. So there's like Aztec like flair with all of it. And so it's a really, you'll enjoy that tomorrow at the arena when he gets injured. I'm sure Canelo's going to have a sick intro too.
I mean, it can't be any sicker than what it was in Miami.
Oh man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
With Jay Balvin.
Jay Balvin.
So looking forward to that. Do you have a bet tomorrow? Like have you looked at the
I have not.
things
I
have
not. I have not. See, like I'm gonna stay away from it for this reason. That damn Thurman got me. He had me thinking I was on the right track, and I lost my $200. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to. Hard Rock app. Boxing for tomorrow. Can I use my Hard Rock app in Las Vegas?
I don't know.
I wonder if I can or cannot. Boxing. Good God. Let's get to this already, dude. Canelo Alvarez. And it's going down a little bit for Jaime Munguia. He was at plus 400. It's gone down a squeaker. Three-way method, winning method, total rounds.
I was going to say, can you bet rounds? Like you can bet Munguia is going to win 4 rounds.
Yeah, sometimes they give you like some books will give you like what round is it going to be? The over/under is 11.5.
That's what I did. That's what I did in my biggest score in boxing ever with Canelo and not Canelo, with Mayweather and Conor McGregor.
This is the one I think I'm leaning on is Canelo to win 7 through 12. It's 3-1. I think that's probably where I'm going to go with.
And when was the last time you won, Tobin?
Wait, why did they call it? What is Saul Alvarez?
Saul's his real name.
Okay, Saul. Okay.
But everybody calls him Canelo.
Huh?
Yeah, his first name is actual Saul.
Saul.
How did he get Canelo?
I like Saul.
Canelo is cinnamon in Spanish.
Okay.
Ginger.
Because he's
Well, it's like canela, really.
So
thank you.
You're welcome. It's totally true.
Thank you.
Either fight to win in 60 seconds plus 6,000.
Cool.
Both fighters to be knocked down plus 1,000. That's
what, they're not going to both not going to get knocked down?
No, man, because Canelo's got a hard head.
He doesn't get knocked down. Not that Jaime's easy to put. I'm more worried about Jaime exhaustion. Like that's what I don't even think he's tough too, but I'm just worried. Like they said, Freddie's going to have him throwing a lot of punches.
He's going to punch himself out,
and I feel like he's going to punch himself out. Yeah. Like
first
like
3 rounds,
few couple rounds.
That was the funniest thing ever. Like the first time you get into a boxing ring, they're like, we're going to have 1 minute round. You're like, 1 minute? I won't even break a sweat. That 1 minute feels like 5 hours.
Schmieden says, if only Vegas allowed gambling, idiot. Yeah, I know that came off bad. The way I meant it is I was wondering if my app was going to work. I just wanted to see if I could fire in there real quick.
The geography of it. That was the reason. I figured that.
This Schmieden.
And also, you don't have the luxury of on the radio walking up and going outside and looking at the book. You have to sit there and do it.
No, but MGM, who has the nicest book? Who do you think has the nicest book?
There's some, because here.
Where's the shady?
Let me say this. I don't care how
the New York books looks a little shady. It's a little.
It's off in the corner.
It's a little.
That's what I like.
I would say this: all of the casinos, that's like one of their premier areas, right? You would think that the way they treat poker here, they treat poker like a hole in the wall here.
Yeah, poker
is off to the side. It's like small room.
No, the thing they want that little here is like the roulette, the craps, and then the pie gow and all that. The face up games, the blackjack,
and they get all their money from the stupid
slot machines.
Yeah,
dude, I see these people.
Really?
They're like,
there's people now,
dude.
now, sitting. They were there from last night with drinks, just pulling. Like,
really?
I'm like,
dude, I
the
saw
last
this
thing I play.
This one couple was hammered. And mind you, we walked over here 6 a.m. local time, 6:30 a.m. local time.
Well,
hammered.
Well,
and then there's just people who are like in that zone. They got the cigarettes going, looking at the slot machines. I'm like, geez, degeneracy knows no bounds. They're having a good time though.
Yeah, that was nothing for me. Like when I used to work high-end events at casinos, like I'd leave at like 11, 12 o'clock at night, come back at 7 a.m. There would be people in the same spot, same clothes, same everything. I'll be like, what have you been doing for the past 7 hours? Just sitting there gambling.
Oh.
Good job.
You about to pass out?
Yeah.
From fighting or from?
Nah, I'm showing him a UFC thing. This guy almost passed out. They called off a fight today because this guy, William Gomez, he weighed in like severely underweight.
Ooh.
Like he lost because it was a featherweight fight, so he had to be 146.
Oh, he's locking up. He's locking up.
Yeah, they canceled that fight, and he weighed in at 143. So they must have been a broken scale by the trainer or something like that. That's crazy.
So if I weigh in at 125, what weight class would that be?
Flyweight.
Flyweight? I got this.
In UFC.
You know, it'd be jockey.
In
That's
UFC, I think that's.
I think I can cut down to one.
I think that's junior lightweight for boxing.
Yeah, like junior human being. Little person.
I think I can get down to
don't do that.
125. I can get down
What?
to 125.
It's not junior human being.
Well,
That's
this guy for some reason had to take his draws off to get to 123.
123.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was skinny.
And he fist pumped. And he's like 6'1".
Cool.
So just imagine, right? It looked just like, come on.
I mean, I would have to cut weight to probably get down to 123. I don't weigh myself.
I would have to cut my arms and
You
legs
would
off,
have to
and
cut
I would
body
still
parts off.
struggle making the weight.
You'd have to cut a lot off, Leroy.
Man,
123 is like, whew, and that's coming from me. That's light. That's really light.
You should see him, right? You should see him. It's like it's the thing that kills me in the fight game.
If you guys are just tuning in, the big news today is
OBJ.
OBJ has signed with the Miami Dolphins.
Louisiana guy.
Isidore Newman.
I give him a call.
Very
he
exciting.
and Eli Manning. Well, Eli Manning was a little older than he was.
Yeah.
Same school though.
Yep.
Rich people.
Should be
Where did they go to school?
Newman. Isidore Newman. Yeah.
Yep.
Garden District, New Orleans.
Yep. Oh yeah. That let me tell you. That is like Pinecrest.
So they have Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. They have
Because
Odell Beckham Jr.
I remember all the Mannings because they played at Joe Brown Park.
Okay. Did you ever have a game at Tad Gormley, Leroy?
I played all my high school games.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I played there at Tad Gormley and what's the one in City Park?
That's Tad Gormley,
right?
I thought.
No, that's Tad Gormley. But remember they renamed it Reggie Bush.
Oh.
And they had the Olympic trials there.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Long time ago.
So, like I'm saying, where we played high school was a stadium. Like these people now that just put stands outside their school and have like 1,000 people.
Really?
I'm not familiar with it. We played across the road. We played John Ehret one year in the playoffs.
Mhm.
They were number one in the country. They had to shut down I-10 because people were parking on the bridge looking onto at the game.
That's wild, man. Yeah. Don't want to buy a $5 ticket. Why would you do that? You could sit in interstate traffic.
No, they weren't letting people in. It was too bad.
Oh, it's too bad. Okay.
And we got to close out a whole section for our band.
That's crazy too, because your school only had like 100 people in it, Leroy.
Right. We had 600 from 8th grade to 12th grade.
Goodness.
By the way, Tyreek Hill.
And 120 of them were in the band.
No, everybody's in the band.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill has said no boat parties this year.
Wait,
for him.
let me see. And OBJ should
I teach him.
And no racing IG models.
Well,
that would only be fair, right?
It's a fair point.
Right.
It's a fair point. Oh man,
what a wide receiver room we're gonna have. Like
Oh,
you've
my
got
God, and the
Tyreek Hill and
personalities.
OBJ, and then you got Jalen Waddle who doesn't talk. So I guess it all kind of balances out.
he says Finn's for the win, and he has the dance. That's all he needs. So if you don't talk, you just need a gimmick.
And Christian Wilkins taught him that dance too. So I mean,
It says that Tyreek didn't do well in the dock either. He was heated. He was heated. He was not happy about whatever happened there with the fishing. But you know what? They're all here together. Hopefully, this will be this will be the year where they can get themselves over the top.
At least they'll be talking a lot of trash. Could you imagine the offensive defensive trash talk
Oh,
just
my
in
God.
camp?
That would be crazy. Absolutely.
And
crazy.
how quick before they're going to fight?
Possible.
OBJ and Ramsey and somebody going to get into it because they're going to talk trash. Don't make nothing of it. I'm telling you now it's going to happen.
We'll take a quick break here. We are live from Las Vegas and bring you some more fun on the other side. Thanks again to Premier Boxing for flying us out here for Canelo versus Jaime Munguia, putting us up at the New York Hotel and Casino. Back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here from Radio Row. Canelo Alvarez against Jaime Munguia. That goes down tomorrow on pay-per-view. 8 p.m. is your start time down in Miami. You can get that on Amazon Prime pay-per-view presented by Premier Boxing Champions. Appreciate Premier Boxing for having us out here, flying us out here for a couple days. We're looking forward to the fight tomorrow and checking out all the action with the weigh-in later on today. Got a chance to speak with the co-main event fighter named Mario Barrios. I've spoken to this guy a couple times from San Antonio. Really, really exciting fighter. Good dude. And we dove into a lot of things, including his fight. We talked about the Ryan Garcia controversy and this upcoming main event bout between Canelo and Jaime Munguia. So without further ado, there is Mario Barrios. Welcome back, everybody. Very excited to talk to our next guest. The champ joining us here, Mario Barrios. Hey, man. It's good to talk to you again. Thank you for joining the show.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
Listen, we're going through some heartbreak right now. The Miami Heat season ended this week. You must be absolutely stoked. You have Victor Wembanyama, even though it's tough for your Spurs. How excited is it watching that alien night in and night out?
Oh, man, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane, really, how, I don't know too much about basketball, but it kind of seems like, like he could do it all. And then especially with his size, like, man, he could shoot threes. He shot it from, like, half court. He's a very agile player. He's very smooth with it. So, we're very high on him right now in San Antonio.
You've been on the biggest stages before, right? You've headlined monster pay-per-views and all that. You've won championships. Is there a different kind of buzz, the Cinco de Mayo Canelo card weekend? Are you excited to be part of something like this?
Oh, absolutely, man. Just being a brown kid from San Antonio, I started boxing at the East Side Boys and Girls Club, back home, and now I'm co-main on the Canelo card here in Vegas and at the T-Mobile Arena on Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's hard to really put it all into words, but just overall, I'm grateful. I think, I'm only getting these opportunities, because of the work I've been putting in, so that's also very, very motivating.
You put in a lot of work. You're entertaining as hell. Everybody loves it. I don't think it's possible for you to be in a boring fight. Have you ever thought about? Has anybody ever tried to change that in you, or do they know better to be like, hey, that's just who the Aztec Warrior is. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna put on a show on the ring, walk out. He's gonna look incredible, and then the fight's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's gonna be any change in that. In my lifetime, I'm always gonna go in there, try to give fans an exciting fight. I go in there with the intentions, to box smart, be on the outside, try not to get hit. But usually, only takes me getting clipped like once or twice to where I'm like, all right, f this, we're gonna make it out.
Is that do your coaches ever try and hone that back on you, or in the because you fight how you fight, right? That's got to be an instinct thing. That's got to be a tough thing to change, even though I know you have a game plan for everything, but just when those things flip, they flip.
Yeah, no, my team already knows it. So, like I said, we usually go in there with the game plan, box smart, they would like me, to finish the fight as pretty as possible. But they also know the type of fighter that I am. So, of course, we always drill, the inside work also, because they know it'll only take, so much to get me in there. So they're going to prepare me, to fight on the inside as well as best as I can.
What do you think of Maidana? Obviously, big name in the lineage of that family. Does that stuff matter to you? You feel like you're going to expose them? What do you feel of this matchup coming up here?
I think it definitely matters. Because he's been the brother that's kind of been in his big brother's shadows. He's looking for that breakout performance himself, and now he has this big opportunity. So I have no doubt I'm in for a fight come Saturday. But I think everything me and my team have been working on. I don't have any doubt in my mind, that we aren't gonna come out victorious.
Is his brother wild like Marcos was? Because his brother was wild. He'd throw punches from everywhere.
Yeah.
You never knew what the hell was going on. I don't think I've seen anybody make Floyd Mayweather's face look that ugly before. So, does he have that, or is it a different style that you prepared for with him?
He brings that that same kind of intensity, but he's actually Fabian is a lot better of a boxer. So he's a lot cleaner with his punch selection. He doesn't kind of just like maul you with his body weight. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. He doesn't have an easy style to fight. So I mean, it's definitely gonna present some issues. But I think, like I said, everything we've been working on, I should be able, to start picking them apart, and start finding the openings that I'm looking for, towards the middle and the later rounds.
So obviously everybody's buzzing around this week because of the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney news. What has been your reaction to this week? Because that was pretty wild that dropped just in the middle of the week that he popped from the Devin Haney stuff.
That's funny. I was saying the exact same thing yesterday. I was like, I literally saw the post. I was like, what the hell? But I was like, yeah, of course. I don't know. Ryan's kind of out there right now. He's I don't even know what to make of him. But I mean, anybody that uses PEDs, especially in the combat sports, I think it's f***ed up. Like cheating to get that edge, and it kind of just shows more about your character than anything. But of course, he's gonna say he didn't know about it, or they're lies and all that. But yeah,
I don't even know. Yeah, and it's one of these things where what do you do as a guy? Have you felt like when you fought guys I think this guy's on something, and then what do you do as a fighter? Because to a level I know he's gonna go the troll route on it because we know how he uses social media, but there is a level that's damn, Devin Haney had this undefeated record. He took on a guy that blew off the weight class and then maybe was juicing, and now his O's gone and the whole thing changes. So just being on the end of that, have you ever felt like you fought a dirty fighter, and then that's gotta, I imagine, piss you off royally if you have?
Oh yeah. I myself have never fought somebody who came out dirty, but I would for sure be pissed off, especially if I was coming off, the first loss of my career. So yeah, if I was Haney, I would for sure be pissed. I think just because of everything too that happened in that fight, But yeah, I don't think it's right. But yeah, we'll see how all of that plays out.
I know you got a fight to focus on, but just because your paths could cross, that could be a possibility. What would you feel like about fighting him now? Because obviously, the buzz about him is high, so it'd be a big money fight. But knowing, man, it's a wild card. I don't know if he's going to show up on time. Is he going to show up on weight? Does this give you any pause, or would you put in stipulations? How would you go about it, or would you just jump at it and you would do your Aztec Warrior stuff and just whoop on it?
I would definitely jump on it. I still think it's a big opportunity, but for sure, man, I would require. Me and my team would require testing, way beforehand, and then, and then if he was a pop dirty, way before, then that fight ain't gonna happen.
Before we get you out of here, Mario Barrios joining us here. He's going to be fighting Fabian in Maidana, co-main event here live on pay-per-view. Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia, the main event. Do you feel like Jaime has a shot? The odds say he does not, but he is a very, very, he's front foot guy, will come after you, ferocious. What do you think of his chances against Canelo?
I think he actually has really good chances. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. He's young. He's actually a really big dude. Me and him were at the gym yesterday, putting in a workout together. It kind of we just happened, to be there at the same time. He's a big dude, though, a lot bigger than Canelo. So he has the size, he has the youth, and he has that, come forward, that Mexican, warrior style. So, I mean, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. But I think ultimately Canelo's experience is just going to start taking over in those later rounds, much like how when Canelo fought Mayweather when he was really young.
What about your fight? I mean, you and Maidana, I know you prepare for everything, but when you picture this fight in your ideal way, how do you picture getting the victory?
Any way possible, really. Like I said, I'm gonna go in there, try to fight smart, try to work on, what we've been working on in the boxing gym. But I have no doubt, at some point I'm gonna say F pocket and then just start trying to bang it out with him. Because like I said, I mean, I know he's coming with it and he has a lot to prove.
What do you got up your sleeve for the intro? Like, you always have sick walks. Like, what's up the sleeve this week?
You know, I'm definitely bringing, you know, bringing the culture in with me. We're gonna have the danzantes, and but yeah, you know, the intro is always one of my favorite parts. It always gets me very pumped up, you know, because it's a ring entrance that, you know, you're not only watching but you feel it, and yeah, you know, like it's definitely something I feel whenever I'm walking out.
It's always a thrill watching you fight, man. I always appreciate you giving us some time. Mario Barrios, thank you for joining the show, man, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure to be on.